Oh, right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be. Thanks for coming by to hang out at least for a little bit. Um, I see moving images on the screens. That is good. Now I see DB. Sounds clear. Awesome. Thank you so much for preempting my audio check there, Collins. Appreciate you for that. Let's see, Peter. Peter's in a cold area as well. I got like -6 C, which is like 22 degrees Fahrenheit, so well below freezing here in Colorado Springs. It's been kind of chilly the last few days, and then we got more snow overnight, but not enough to like really even like barely a dusting, just enough to be irritating. But that came after more than a foot of snow earlier in the week. That's now mostly gone. But it's been pretty cold around here, so I'm sitting here in my in my hoodie. If you want to pick one of those up, there's there's stuff below this video where you can go buy some merch, and I've got my little leg heater thing that we talked about briefly in last week's live stream because it is chilly out here. I don't have my thermometer thing that I used to have out here. Took it in the house. So I don't know, but it's probably 50 degrees in here and it's chilly. But luckily, again, staying warm with the precautions that I've taken. Oh, let's see. I see moving images. Use Brave. No ads. No ads means no revenue for this guy, unless you've donated, and then that's different. Um, let's see. Nightbot is there. Jason Budney is here. Uh, 31 and foggy. So like it's like frozen fog. Interesting. Last time I remember having snow was when I lived a kid almost 50 years ago. Wow. That's yeah, we've had I mean, I've always lived in either Colorado or Idaho, which are both pretty prone to getting snow. So yeah, so that's a thing. Um, interesting. I'm just making sure everything over here looks like it's supposed to. Um, I still get very paranoid about my live streams going all wonky technically. So I'm always checking over here. Yeah. So trying to think what. The video of Kafan. It's spelled. It's pronounced like coffin, but an A instead of an I. So Kafan, I think is the correct pronunciation. That video went live earlier this week, and I was kind of I waffled a bit on whether or not I wanted to do that video. Because one of the things that I've been talking about for a while moving into this year that I wanted to do was I didn't want to just make videos about every container that pops up. And of course, last week we talked about AI in our live stream. We talked about um, AI coded apps, and this shopping list app kind of fell into both categories of having some AI aspects to it that were coded, as well as just kind of being another app. But this is an app that I've actually added to my stack. Um, are we getting weird um, sync issues? I don't know if it is just you, man. Um, but anyway, so I was kind of kicking around back and forth whether or not I was going to talk about that shopping list app. But I feel like if it's something that I would actually put and have actually put into my stack, that it's worth talking about. Um, that's so weird. I'm wondering, man. I don't know if I can fix it from here. Let me see. Um, Spectre. I don't know if I can change um, any of my settings. I don't know if there is. Um, I don't know if there's any way to. What, man? Everything is blowing me up here. Oh, um, I don't know if there's any way for me to change any kind of offset. It is off slightly. Interesting. I think it's the app that I'm using, but again, there's no way for me to Mic Magic, level low. It's off slightly. That sucks. I hate that. Man, I really hate it when things are off like that. That is plugins. It's general. Man, I don't know. Do I switch back? Do I do a very quick switch over to the other thing and just move forward? Because like I don't want it to be an ongoing issue here, and I know that I will be frustrated if things go all wonky. Sound really clear. That's good. But yeah, if the audio is off, that's going to drive me and everyone else a little bit bonkers, and I don't want to do that. But I feel like at some point when I was messing with this this Meld Studio app in the past, I had to introduce a few hundred milliseconds of delay to get the audio sync correct now. Okay, everybody is seeing it. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna jump over to the app that I've been using. I wanted to try this out. If this is no good, then we're gonna swap it out to a different app. Yeah, no, you guys are good. Give me a couple of seconds here. We there's this. Okay. Okay, like okay, DB's in the darkness. Okay, so you guys can hear me, right? That's something. Let me see what is going on. Wrong. God damn it. There. Wait, hold on. No audio, right? Oh, because I was on the wrong thing. You should be able to hear me now. I hope, right? We good? Hopefully we're good. There you are. Okay, there you go. Cool. All right. Let me switch over to desktop mode. Let me make sure that we can hear me. Oh geez, that's not what I wanted. Okay, now we're good. Now we're good. Awesome. All right. Let me come back over to there. Why? What is going on over here? Okay, we're gonna go to, damn it, hold on. Because this source clone chat, Lenovo alerts, I don't know. I am so confused. Chat alerts, this should be that. There we go. Okay, hold on, I gotta fix this. This has gone way off the rails here. Oh, it's because I switched this to 4K the other day when I was messing with it. That's what happened. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna bring this up to here. Right, there we go. Yay, all right, okay. Now I think we're good. That should look fine. You should be able to see my whole screen there. I can minimize this and kind of zoom in a little bit, make that a little easier. Okay, here we go. Anyway, I was right. I'm glad everything's working now. I'm glad we're all in sync. I'm glad that's all working. I'll have to mess with I'll have to mess with Meld later because there are things about Meld that I really like. But I feel like at some point I introduced a little bit of a latency gap in there of a few hundred milliseconds to compensate for something else. So anyway, it is what it is. I'm glad we're back up and running. But yeah, so the shopping list app that I made the video on this week. Again, I was apprehensive to do it because I didn't want to just start the year with kind of more of the same thing of just here's a random app. But and also, again, like I said, last live stream, we talked about AI in apps and how that could be an issue if the developer didn't know anything about safety practices and best practices, things like that. But after looking through the different posts that the developer made and using the app, my wife loves the app, and I was like, okay, this is something I will actually use, even if there is some AI in it. I think it's fine. And the video is actually doing pretty well, all things considered. I'm pretty happy with it. The wife loves it. So yeah, that's and like I said, it's being received pretty well. I think we're still in a net positive for subscribers. So that's good. That makes me happy. Oh, that's not what I wanted at all. It was this. This is what I was after. Let's see. Oops. Whatever. Anywho, yeah, my tech guy should be fired. He's kind of a doofus. The app is called C.A.F.E, I think is how it was pronounced. It's over on the channel. Jan, thank you so much for donating 5 memberships. And it's just a shopping list app. It's nothing fancy, and it's not meant to be anything fancy. But it works really well. It's got some great features, and I like it a lot. So, and again, like I know I keep harping on this, but my wife really likes it. It's like we both got terrible penmanship. We have more than once forgotten the shopping list on the refrigerator. And it's just nice to be able to say, type it up on your computer while you're sitting there, looking at menus or whatever you're going to do. For cooking for the week, that sort of thing. You can be looking at your recipes and typing directly on the same screen. And there've been a couple of times we've been out doing something, and she's like, "Oh, I need to put such and such on the shopping list," and then she pauses for a second. It's like, "Oh, I can do it from here." So yeah, it's been really good. It's made both of our lives just incrementally better. So yeah. Super happy with it. I chatted with the developer in a Reddit kind of way, and it was a good conversation. Seems like a good guy based on the little bit of conversation that I had. What are we doing? There we go. Let's see. We got some new people in here. We've got Geeky Dad 007. We got Marks B 8907, Mirandi 13. We've got John KE11Y. We got Robert. Well, I know I'll screw up the rest of that if I didn't already. We got Xenos. We got a bunch of new people in here today. I love that. I love seeing that. Thank you guys so much for coming by and hanging out for a bit. That's really cool. Always love seeing new faces just as much as I love seeing familiar faces. Love that. Love seeing that the community is growing and we're getting more people interested in what this dumb guy has to say every once in a while. So as I was scrolling through Reddit, like I mentioned a minute ago, I ran across something called C.A.F.E, and it was this post right here. I don't know if I found it here. I subsequently also found it here, I should say, but I don't remember if I found this in the newsletter or if I found it here first. But basically, this is C.A.F.E. It's a third way for automations, visual flows like Node-RED, but 100% native YAML storage, no extra engines. Basically, the guy says, I've been a Home Assistant user for years, and like many of you, I've always felt stuck in the great divide. I love the stability of native YAML and the fact that it just works. But as my logic got complex, I hated looking at 500-line wall of text. On the flip side, I love the visual clarity of Node-RED, but I didn't love the overhead of a second engine, the WebSocket latency, or the fear of my house breaking if an add-on crashed. I kept wondering, why can't we have both? So I spent some time building C.A.F.E, complex automation flow editor. And I'm reading this as if I were the developer. I am not the developer. I am just taking a look at this with you guys. As I mentioned in the video description for this live stream, I have not done any testing with this. Eric, you're good, man. Thank you so much for stopping by. Really, if you want to back up about 8 minutes, you'll be caught up. The first the first bit of the stream, we were using a different app, and there was some weird, the audio and video weren't in sync, so I switched streaming apps and jumped right back in. But we're literally just now getting to the point of our topic here. So anyway, as I mentioned in the video description, I have not spent any time with this. I've done nothing with this. Like I've got my Home Assistant up right here. I came in, turned the lights on with that little button. This one quit working. I need to look at that. But basically, I wanted to take a look at this. I've liked the idea of N8N or Node-RED for a long time, but it doesn't. It's never made sense to me because I had nothing to work with. As far as what I've got no basis of comparison because I've never used either of them in any kind of way. If I'm being honest, I've clicked a couple of things, I've drug a couple of lines, but nothing ever really stuck for me. But I've been using Home Assistant for, gosh, I don't even know, a couple of years now, I guess, a year and a half anyway, I think. Home Assistant. Let me see if I can find. Okay, when was this? This should tell me something. Come here. July 16th of 2024. So just about a year and a half I've been using Home Assistant. And so I think going from a platform that I'm already familiar with, again, Home Assistant, and on like all of the automations that I've built, if we come over to here, we can see, there's not nearly as many as I know a lot of you guys will have in your Home Assistant. In fact, yeah, this is the one that broke my lights off button. I need to fix that. I need to switch that to a script rather than being an automation. But that's neither here nor there. So the point is, I've made several different automations here in Home Assistant, and I think having an idea of what the automations do and how they work and how they should work and what that workflow looks like, I'm hoping that I can kind of use a known system to help me learn how to use a new system. This is kind of what it looks like. We've got, I guess we can just come up to here. This is all in Home Assistant. We're going to actually add this to Home Assistant here in a little bit so that we can take a look at it. And we're apparently, where does it? Nope, there it is. So we've got a little button down there. We can see here, we've got triggers, conditions, actions, delays, wait for. I feel like delay and wait for might be similar, but maybe they're used differently. Maybe this is wait 5 minutes and this is wait for a thing to be active or something. That would be my guess. We got quick help, click nodes to add, drag to connect, delete to remove, backspace, delete key. That's cool. Just had a chat with Federico this morning. Is that the developer of this? Wait for something to complete or something else to do something. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking there, Collins. I actually want to come up. Federico, yeah. So, okay, cool. Then that's great. I haven't chatted with him at all. We're just gonna kind of raw dog this and see what happens. So we can kind of see the different things that we can do here. And then if we come back out, we can see, like here is an example, right? When the door is open, they've got a binary sensor there, like a door sensor. So when the door opens and it's dark outside, yes, and the light is off, yes, then turn the light on, wait 2 minutes, and then turn off the light. But if the door is open and it's dark outside is no, then it's not going to do anything. Or if the light is off, then it's not going to do anything. And we can kind of see what that workflow looks like. And then we can come over to here, and we've got some different properties and some different YAML stuff. We can simulate what this might look like. Right? Yeah, this is pretty nifty. I'm kind of excited to give it a look. I'm also curious if it will retroactively generate these workflow diagrams based on existing automations. I don't know if it will. I hope it does, because I'd love to see it. I think that would be, because I've always been a reverse engineer kind of person. Like I will take the code of something and kind of read the code to figure out how it does. So I'm definitely curious about that. And then of course over here we can kind of see what that looks like. Let me zoom out a little bit on that. Let's see. Yeah. So when door is open is your trigger. Then if it's dark outside and the light sensor is below 0, that's how it determines if it's dark. And the light is off, then do all of this stuff, right? So it's showing us this. So I'm excited to see what that looks like. And of course, that's just one image from here. Let's come back over to here. Let's zoom back in. I had to zoom out there for a second. So what is C.A.F.E? It's a visual flow editor built on React Flow. For those of you who care, I'm just going to throw it out there. There is Claude involved in this. I know a lot of people. There was actually a pretty good amount of conversation in my shopping list app video, who also used Claude for part of that. That like they were pretty gung ho that it was just by default AI slop because AI was used. Built at least partially with Claude, built on React Flow, that lives in a panel inside your Home Assistant sidebar. The magic is in the transpiler. That's a fun word. It takes your visual nodes and compiles them into a 100% compliant Home Assistant native logic, which is awesome. That's what I want to see. So key features, native first, no side files, no external databases. It reads and writes directly to your Home Assistant automation storage. Okay. Complex logic, it uses state machine pattern via native repeat loops to allow for cross-branching and loops that standard YAML usually struggles with. I love that. Legacy support, you can load your existing automations. Hey, look, even if they weren't building C.A.F.E, it uses a heuristic auto layout to build a visual map so you can finally see that old spaghetti YAML file is doing. I love that. I'm really, really glad that that's a thing. That's how raw we're going into this. I haven't fully read through this. I caught a brief glimpse of what C.A.F.E is supposed to do, and I was like, I want to know more, and I want to take you guys along this little journey of exploration so you can kind of see how dumb I really am behind the scenes, most likely. So we've got Trace integrated. It's fully compatible with the official HACS Trace view. You can even see the path of execution right on your canvas, which is great. No lock-in. If you decide you don't like C.A.F.E, you can delete the integration and your automations stay in your system and keep running forever because they're just standard YAML. That's really cool. I love that. So next, we've got a humble beta. I'm an Italian developer. Again, reading, I am not Italian, nor am I a developer. And a huge fan of this community. This is a beta. This is a first beta release, so there might be rough edges, especially with complex manual YAML imports. But I'm eager to hear your feedback. I put my heart in engineering here, trying to make it feel high performance but lightweight. We've got a GitHub, which we'll take a look at. And it's available via HACS, so we will have to add a repository to get it to come out, but we'll find that here in a minute. I'll be around in the comments to answer any technical questions about the transpiler or the architecture. Hope this helps some of you move those complex flows back to native. That's awesome. That's really cool. So that is the Reddit post from 8 days ago, which is great. And if we come over to here, again, we've got our GitHub repository. I love that at the very top, this project is still in beta. While it is designed to be non-destructive, please make sure to back up your automations before editing them with C.A.F.E. We've got, so we got more information. C.A.F.E is a visual flow editor that brings Node-RED power to Home Assistant without the external engine. It transpiles your visual diagrams into 100% compliant native Home Assistant logic stored directly in the core system. Sorry, my phone keeps vibrating for me over here. Let's see what else. This Home Assistant automation integration is absolutely incredible. Via Bite of Geek, that's cool. What is C.A.F.E? Native YAML, zero overhead, which means no extra Docker containers or anything else. It all happens within Home Assistant. Optimized YAML generation produces standard linear sequences for simple flows and automations. and again, trace integrated. So we have already looked at this image. Again, thank you to the developer for putting an image here. I know it's such a little thing to gripe about, but I want to see what it looks like before I look at an app. I actually had a pretty lengthy conversation with the developer a while back about it, about the app that they had released. And I was like, hey, could you do us a favor, maybe like drop some screenshots of your app in the GitHub repository so we can see what it looks like? His response to that was to link to a demo, which is not what I asked for. I was like, just let me see it. Don't make me interact with it. I just want to see it first. And I've been harping on that for a long time. So I'm really, really happy that the Federico did that here. Again, I know it's such a nothing thing to ask for, but that's what happens. So let's see, we got power features. I know I skipped over some of this. Script responses. So to get started, we're going to install HACS. I've already got HACS installed, so that's not a big deal. We're going to add a custom repository in HACS. We're going to go to HACS integrations, custom repositories, and we're going to add this URL right here as an integration. So we'll come over to here. This HACS is right there. Somewhere in here, I believe. Custom repositories right there. Our repository goes there, and this is an integration. So pretty easy to do that. I'm going to click add. I'm going to give this a second. Okay, so we can see that it was added there. That's good. So we can close this. And then our next step is install. So find C.A.F.E in HACS. Cool. So let's do that next. Search C.A.F.E. Hey, look, it's right there. So there's been one download. That's interesting. 675 stars. 4 hours ago was at the last activity, and it's an integration. So that's cool. We've got all of this. This is a lot more of the same, so we can just click download. We're going to install version 0.2.5. That is the current version. If you need a different version, there are previous versions. He's been very, very active with this, as we can see here. Going from version 0.1.12 5 days ago, clear up to 0.2.5 as of 5 hours ago. So we're just going to go with the standard version. I don't need a different version. Click download. Cool. Restart required. Okay. Should be fine. Yeah, we'll just click submit. The issue is repaired. Finished. Interesting. Now what? Enable, go to settings, devices and services, add integrations. Okay, so we're going to go settings, devices and services. Oh, we're still rebooting. I'm getting ahead of myself. So how's everybody's day? I hope you're having a great Saturday. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for a little bit on a Saturday when you could be doing probably just about anything else. This week is Mrs. DB Tech's birthday, so we're gonna go. There's a hot springs that she really likes to go to. We haven't been to in a few years. In fact, the last time we went to this hot springs was on her birthday 5 or 6 years ago. Her dad had come down to visit from Idaho, and he was on oxygen, and I still wasn't doing great physically. And we hit a slick spot, ended up in a ditch. Had to wait hours for AAA to come get us in the cold. Again, with her dad on an oxygen machine that was battery operated, that was dwindling fast. It was quite the ordeal. But hopefully this year we won't have those issues. All right, so it looks like we're coming back up. Starting. Not everything will be available until finished, so we're still waiting here. Have no social life. Not sure what you mean by other options, dude. I get it. You guys, honestly, you guys are a big part of my social life. It's one of the reasons that I really do enjoy doing these live streams every week. That's not that. Devices and services. Error while loading integrations. Are we still loading? Devices and services. Interesting. Okay, so some of this is fine. I can't imagine that it requires 26.1.2. That would seem like that's not a good sign. Let's go back into HACS, I guess. Okay. That's issues. Install and restart. Yep. Download it, restart Home Assistant. So we've done that, right? We've done up to step 3. Now we go to settings, devices and services. So settings, devices and services, and it's broken. That's interesting. That's kind of unfortunate. What if I go back to HACS? I do this. Reload the page. Yep. So settings, automations, devices and services. Reload okay. That's interesting. You're right. See, this is the dumb guy stuff I'm talking about, guys. It is. Also, Federico, glad to have you here. That's really cool. Thank you so much. C.A.F.E. Hey, look, there it is. Submit. Created configuration for C.A.F.E. Finish. And hey, look, there it is. All right. So, let's see. Oh, hey, look, there's C.A.F.E. All right. So we've got a blank screen here, which doesn't surprise me. I haven't done anything yet. Not dumb, in training. Dude, my whole life is in training. Open automation. Okay, here we go. Enabled. Yep. This is kind of, I like this interface here. I like this a lot, actually. This is very clean looking. I dig that. So let's So, all right. So this automation right here, last triggered about an hour ago. Basically, the idea is that if my, yeah, right. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit, Collins. You may have been sidetracked or something. Yeah. So we can actually import things here, and so like this front porch automation. Basically, if my Unify G4 doorbell recognizes a person, then that triggers my my Zigbee third reality light bulb to turn on. So if somebody walks up to the door, we get deliveries at all times of the day and night. So if they come up to the door, the light will turn on and they're not left in the dark there. So that's what this front porch person does here. So I'm going to import this. Import automation. All right. So binary sensor turned on, light turn on, speak, wait 5 minutes. We always love a little chaos in the stream too. It's true. You have an automation to take out the trash. I have a teenager. That automation it's Tuesday night at 7 p.m. over our smart speakers. It's just like, hey, take out the trash. That's it. It's just a reminder at 7 o'clock. There's also one Wednesday morning that it reminds me like, hey, take it out. Take out the trash. It's just an auditory reminder for that. We've got a couple of those throughout the week, just as a like, hey, stupid, don't forget kind of thing. So let's see. Yep. I have an automation to remind me to take my teenager to take the garbage to the road. Yeah, that's basically all I'm doing is reminding myself to take the bins outside out to the street so the trash company can pick it up. So SIM SC211, just hit F5 or Control R on your keyboard. That's all I had to do. It was just the Home Assistant had it cached. That previous page load had been cached. just reloading the page with F5 or Control R fixed it for me. So, yeah, okay, so we've got, wow, holy cow. So basically, yeah, G4 doorbell, so the device, G4 doorbell, trigger type turned on, binary sensor, that's weird. That's really strange. Actually, I want to look at this. I want to look at this another way because I feel like something weird is going on there. Automations. Was it doorbell, front porch person? This one. Yep. So this is what it looks like in the native Home Assistant, right? So the G4 doorbell person detection turns on. So if it detects a person, then turn on the light. I don't know. Oh, because I had that in there. Okay, this can actually go away. It's disabled. I want to see, turn on speak. Enabled false is down there. Okay. Oh, it's behind my stupid head. Let me unlock this. I'm going to move myself. Oh, geez, of course I did that. Why wouldn't I do that? Did I source clone, like chat? Really? There we go. Okay. So over here, we can see that enable is false. And then there's also a delete option here. So if I click delete, that didn't do anything. So if I delete that, oops, can I drag this over to here? So in theory, because basically what it was is it would detect someone, would turn on the light. There was a thing where it would say something like, hey, like ring the doorbell. It was like an auditory, like a voice saying, hey, if you need something, ring the doorbell, right? Because I've been having a lot of issues for a lot of years with like Amazon delivery people, for instance, not ringing the doorbell, even though my delivery instructions clearly state, please ring the doorbell. So I had a little thing in there that was like, hey, ring the doorbell. But it was turned off, so I didn't use it. Let me see if I've missed anything else. Okay, just checking. All right, so I wonder, so I don't have any kind of thing in here. I wonder if there's some kind of a condition that I could add to this. Sun, maybe sun, condition type sun. Sun, yes. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. So then with something like this, right, I can do this, right? And then can I, interesting. I wish there was a way that I could maybe, is there a, oh, can I do it that way? Oops. I want to select all of those, right? There we go. Shift click will allow you to do that. So let's bring this over to here. So let's say I only want this to run when there is no sun, right? So I can do if there's no. So once it's detected a person, if there is no sun, then turn on the light, wait 5 minutes, and then turn off the light. I kind of dig that. That seems easy enough. I'm actually going to click save there. Click update. Oops. Failed to update automation. Unknown error. Interesting. Let me scroll back up. Let me see what I'm missing. Later I'm going to use Frigate to see if she already took the bins to the road. If they already are, then don't say anything. That's kind of a cool idea there, Eric. How long does it take for Home Assistant to make backups? I'm saving to Nabukasa and my Synology. My setup is to back up once a day, like in the middle of the night. So I don't know exactly how long it actually takes. So, I'm gonna click save. I'm gonna do this again. Front porch person, and click update. Failed to update automation. Unknown error. So I'm actually glad, Federico, that you're here. I want to make sure I didn't screw that up. Federico, okay, I apologize. I get weird here on stream. You'll learn this if you're on more streams. So then I guess my question would be, if I come over here and I go to settings and I go down to system and logs. I need to remove all of this local Tuya stuff because I'm not using any of the local Tuya stuff anymore. It was 1026. That was, I don't know what's going on there. Error connecting. So I'm not getting any error messages here that would indicate that there's something going on there. Supervisor, loading log. Gonna give it a second. So we need to scroll to the bottom. Detected running home and okay, that's not it. Okay, so that's not helpful. Have anything over here? I'm trying to see if there's anything in the logs that might give me some sort of indication as far as what might have happened. UI should allow you to set before sunset. Oh, okay. So this is this Federico. So this is likely an issue with C.A.F.E, right? Like I'm not trying to call you out. I'm not trying to be a dick or anything. I just want to make sure that I'm understanding that this is just something that's been overlooked in C.A.F.E. Is that correct? I want to make sure that I'm not misunderstanding. The UI should allow you to set this. It just says type sun. Interesting. Debug. Yes, definitely added. Okay, cool. See, and this is why I love doing this, especially when the developer's actually here and can see something maybe they hadn't considered. Again, this isn't a big deal. I can just do this. Vaz, thank you so much for that, dude. Thank you for gifting 5 memberships. That's really nice of you. Thank you so much for your support there. Let's see. We've got Sleepless Night. We've got Jordan T2, up Periscope, the Torsi, and Panthers Army Gaming. Thank you guys for being here. You guys are now honorary channel members for the next month, so you'll get access to videos without ads, and sometimes early access. Usually, sometimes it's only a couple hours, sometimes it's a whole day, but I work very much by the seat of my pants, if that's an old person term. Showing trace execution 3 steps. Can I save this? Date. Okay, so it doesn't like that I've done that either. Let's refresh. Let's open an automation. Oops, right? Search automations. Person. Yeah, let's open this again, right? Okay, so we're going to remove this speak functionality. I don't want the speak functionality. It's not even in there. So I'm going to drag these over, right? Like that. So person detected, light turns on, waits 5 minutes, turns light off. Save. Update. Okay, that's saved. We're good. We're getting somewhere, and that's what's important here. I'm gonna select both of those. Oops, I'm gonna select both of those. I'm just gonna drag them so they're a little closer. So, okay. Okay, sorry, my brain's spinning out a little bit here. So if we come back over to here and we go to my automations, automations here. We scroll all of the way down. Where is it? Front porch person. Hey, look, that that speaking thing came out. So we know we're good. We know that actually worked. What I would love to see, though, nope, that isn't an automation anymore. Never mind. Because I originally had some automations set up for the kids' bedroom with all kinds of weird if-then statements and all kinds of stuff. But I switched that to be a whole different process. Let's see, a master. Let's see, what other things can we take a look at? That's presence, that's his room light. This shouldn't even be an automation anymore. That should just be a script. Let's tell you what, let's take a look. I've got some charging stuff. So we can see that this works, right? We can see, and again, I love that I can import this stuff because that's how my brain does things better, learns things better, is to reverse engineer something that already exists. So I want to do this. I want to do a bedroom. There's some of this charger on, right? We're going to take a look at this bedroom, master bedroom tablet charge on. I want to do an import there. Yeah, discard and continue. That's fine. Well, I thought there'd be more to that. I'm disappointed in myself for having chosen that one. What else do I have in here that might be a bit more? I should really pay attention better. Just install. Need to see how I can import my existing automations into this. So what you're going to do, so if you've got C.A.F.E open over here, like you click over there, are you that far, Collins? So if you're that far, and I'm not trying to be condescending, I apologize. That was a weird tone. So once you're here, you can come up to where it says Open Automation, and just click that, and then you get this pop-up window. Okay. Yeah, so just up here at the top right, you should see Open Automation. All good, bro. Okay, cool. Thank you. Appreciate your understanding there. Just click Open Automation. You should see all of this going on. Let's see, bedroom lamps when present. That's actually turned off for some reason. I don't know why those are turned off. Let's see, bedroom LEDs on when present after. Let's try this. Oh, okay. So we've got a I wasn't hitting the button. I was only hitting, the down. Yeah, that's how I did it first. And I was like, I don't want to do that. So glad you found it. So basically we've got a presence sensor from Akara. This is the FP2, I believe, a master bedroom presence sensor. So when it's occupied, then we're going to talk about this device, which is which doesn't show. That's weird. I guess it shows this device, but it's not showing the device over here. Again, I don't know how much of this is me and how much of this is this still being beta software. So I'm not trying to be judgmental here. I'm just trying to wrap my head around kind of what's going on here. So we've got two different things going on. We've got this device, and if it's between 6 and 9 p.m., then turn the light on. And then from here, we can see some properties. I've set the brightness to, no, it's a shit show. That's fair. Look, bro, and I really appreciate you like hanging out and checking out this live stream. I love when the developers can get on and we can kind of have a conversation of sorts where you can kind of see like one of the issues that I run into a lot, right, is that a company will send me a piece of hardware. And I had this happen recently. A company sent me it was actually another presence sensor. I can't think of the name of it. Hold on, I will check here. It starts with an M. The Meross, MEROSSS, or ME. Oh yeah, it was right there. They sent me this. Right, you can't see my screen. They sent me this. Let me pull this over here. And it's thread over matter, matter over thread. It seems unnecessarily complicated to get that many different things working together to make something happen. But I was also trying to add this to. I got a Homey Pro. The folks at Homey sent me the Homey Pro, and I was like, okay, well, I want to see about getting the Homey Pro set up, and I had a ton of issues with some of the different things there. Again, because dumb guy behind the wheel here, and so I got the Homey Pro set up, and I got some things working with it. I actually with some of these Third Reality Zigbee smart plugs. I love these. Big fan of Third Reality and their stuff, just good stuff across the board. So I managed to get some Zigbee stuff set up. When I tried to get this new Morose Thread Smart Presence Sensor MS605 to work with Homey, it was a nightmare. And I did a bunch of research and then found out that, oh yeah, they don't work together. So like I'd emailed Morose and I had emailed Homey. I emailed Homey a bunch of issues that I was having or questions that I had. I haven't heard back from them in a couple of weeks. So I don't know if my inability to use their hardware triggered them enough to not want to talk to me anymore, or if they're just out of the office. I don't know. But I sent them a couple of different emails about some issues that I was having and some questions that I had. I haven't heard back from them. But again, my point to all of this is that when you're trying to test something, when you're trying to test hardware or software, or hardware and software, or software with hardware, or whatever combination of those words you want to use, the likelihood that a single person is going to have access to every type of hardware out there is zero. So there's a 0% chance that you're going to have all of the exact same hardware that I do, and vice versa. So when a developer is working on something, I think it's important to see stuff like this, because it's, again, there's no way you can account for every different possible kind of hardware that's out there. So yeah, I'm glad that we're able to just kind of take a look at this and see what works, what doesn't, what needs some more polish, that sort of thing. But again, seeing this shows me the kind of things that I wouldn't understand otherwise. Even being able to just see this, I would have never thought that this would need to be split this way. Because again, I've never used, at least not successfully, an interface like this, but I know they're popular with Node-RED, N8N, other things, I'm sure. But those are the only two that I'm even moderately familiar with at all, even if only by name. But I want to learn how to do things this way, right? Because I think it's important to keep learning, to keep trying new things, to understand other things so that I can help. Oh, wait. So wait, this is wrong. Man, you're messing with me now. But so anyway, I want to learn how to use this type of an interface so that I can better understand how different platforms work. The import feature is very work in progress, and that's okay. That's good to know. And look, and again, I understand that this is still in beta. You've been very clear about that in your posts. I don't know. Yeah, a humble beta. You've got it listed there. You've got it listed right at the very top of this. So yeah, this isn't. I don't expect 100% functionality here. So again, I like being able to see kind of what's going on. So I'm trying to see. I want to look. Bedroom lights off at 8:30. I don't know why that's not on. Okay, let me look at my actual automations that I have set up here. Because there was some stuff that I had tried doing that like I was trying to like consolidate a bunch of stuff that was going on in the. In fact, it was this one. Yeah, this one was, I think, the one where I was trying to consolidate everything. So I understand that the import feature is going to be a work in progress, and this may not accurately represent. But you can see a bunch of stuff going on here. If we go in here and we look at this in YAML, we can see that there's a bunch of stuff going on here. And I feel like if I understood how to use an interface like this, whether this is a work in progress or not, I feel like I would be able to better visually build this if I understood how to use an interface like this, right? So what I want to do is I want to open this. I want to figure out what the name of this, bedroom lamps presence control. Lamps presence control. Okay, this is the one that I want to look at. Right. Wow, okay, that's crazy. That is crazy. It kind of looks like a starship or a spaceship from like Star Wars or something. Like it reminds me of a spaceship. I don't know why. So we've got times. I don't feel like that. And look, and obviously, like this is disabled because it was just causing too much havoc as far as all of the different kind of all these different options. I was trying to basically, instead of having all of these different things running, like this can actually go away. This was me testing some issues that I was having. Let me delete that one. Yeah, we'll get rid of that. So basically what I was trying to do was consolidate a bunch of this into a single presence controlled thing so that, if it was between these hours and there was somebody in the room, then these things would happen. And I was trying to, like I said, be very granular about how some of this stuff worked, right? So, I was using, I remember Claude or something to help me write the YAML for this. This was kind of the YAML that I was given. But I feel like I would be able to better build out this automation if I better understood how to use this kind of platform. That's what I've been trying to say for the last 5 minutes. Are you planning to have color temperature picture for lights instead of the RGB? Other priorities right now? Yeah, it's fair. Look, and again, like, and I appreciate you acknowledging that this is beta, and I appreciate you being here. That said, I kind of I want to apologize because I feel like it's entirely possible that between me talking about this and Bite of Geek talking about this, there's a very good chance that you're going to start getting hit with a whole bunch of issues. I can see that you've got, so I've had that window open for a while. You've got 10 open and 65 closed, and that's awesome. Like that's awesome. Like I think you're doing great work here. Looks like you've got you and Connor, and of course Claude. So yeah, I think once, I don't know what I think. I think this is going to be a very cool product. I think this will be a very cool project, or will continue to be a very cool project as it gets more developed. And that's great. That's great. Actually, feedback from the community is helping me iron out bugs real quick. That's brilliant. I love that, and I love that you're accepting of that. I've seen a lot of people, a lot of developers who will build something and put it out into the world like you've done. And when people start being like, "Hey, like I wish it did this, or I wish it did that, or I had this problem with it," that they get real snarky, they get real antisocial in their behavior. So I'm glad that you're open to this and that you're accepting feedback from the community, because I think that's how a project grows. And I love that you've got this built in as an integration directly into Home Assistant, so that there isn't a Docker container that has to run like alongside it. I love this. Ryan McHale says, you're saying YAML-based coding is a bit of a struggle. It is. Like I'm still learning. I'm still learning a lot. Like I don't know everything. When I first started getting into, when I first looked at Home Assistant years ago, it was the only thing you could do with it at the time was YAML. And that's not how my brain works. I like a good visual interface to click and drag and do different things with as I'm learning things. It's how my brain works. So when I first started getting interested in Home Assistant years and years and years ago, there was one of the developers whose name escapes me, and I feel like a jerk for that. He was doing live streams of him coding different things for Home Assistant, and I was like, this is really cool. I love being able to see, how it's made. I love seeing that kind of thing. And in one of the live streams, I commented, and I was like, hey, this looks really neat. It was Frank. You're right. Thank you. I was asking, like, I don't know how to get started with this. And I've mentioned this before, but his response put me off. And that was totally a me issue. The issue was, I'm kind of a wuss when people snap at me, when people are mean to me. I take it very personally. I always have. It's not a good thing. I'm not proud of it. It's something that I've had to learn to deal with. And I've been working on that for years now. But at the time, the way he responded to my question was very off-putting. And again, I think part of it was a cultural thing, a language thing. English isn't his first language. And he was like, well, you just do it. And that was his entire response. And that triggered me. I was very in my feels about it for a while. And I was like, well, screw it. I'll never use Home Assistant. And again, that was a me issue. It wasn't a him issue. I kind of put him on the spot in a live stream, and his response was adequate given the circumstance, but I responded negatively to it. But at the time, it was only YAML, and I didn't understand how YAML worked in that capacity for Home Assistant. So I didn't touch it again until about a year and a half ago, when Jay Collins and Nighthawk in Discord were like, bro, you should try it. It's come a long way. You should try it. I think you'll like it. And they were right. So I've been using Home Assistant for the last year and a half or so. Made a video on it about a year and a half ago. July 17th, I made a video about it saying Home Assistant isn't as scary as I thought, an overview and almost a tutorial. And that was that video right there. And since then, I made some other videos about it. I made a video about it prior to that that was trash. March of 2020, I made a video about it. But it was in Docker, and I was still very new to self-hosting and hadn't really ever used Home Assistant. And I was like, here's how to install it. There you go. Best of luck. It was a crap video, but it did 40,000 views. So, there's that. And it got a 97% like to dislike ratio, which blows my gourd. I wonder, 205 subscribers because of that video, and it was such a trash video. But anywho, yeah. So now I'm using Home Assistant quite a bit more, as we can see with all of my different automations that I've built here. I wonder, let's see. I really need to clean this up, this whole master bedroom section thing here. Living room. Oh, that one needs to go away. Delete that. To NFC. So this was the NFC reader automation system that I had built with RFID tags and cards. That one can go away. I'm not going to delete it right now though. And then I had a presence sensor in the kids' room that, like, if he walked in, TV would turn on. His last show, whatever he was most recently watching, would come on. But then we got him a big Haven bed, so it's all enclosed. And if he's in his bed, the thing can't see him. So it determines that he's not there, and the TV shuts off. So let's see. So C.A.F.E is just Node-RED for non-programmers. I can't answer that, honestly. I haven't used Node-RED enough. Like, I know that it's got an interface. Interesting. It's gone. Refresh. I know that it's got an interface that resembles this, but aside from that, I don't know. I don't know enough about Node-RED to say anything about it. Let's drag this over. Let's see. What is this? Variables. Add a variable. Variable. Okay. Yep. Not something I would use there. What else we got? Who? What? What is going on? Oh, all right. Because like, here's the thing. Like, Zero Linux, you're good, man. I've been there recently, so I kind of get it. The December was a bad mental health month for me, so I get it. No worries. Trigger. Let's look at a trigger. Change state, numeric state, time pattern, sun event, QTT, webhook, zone template, home assistant, or device. Select a device. I want to see kind of if I can build something here. That's my phone. I had all kinds of stuff. Home assistant, presence tester, seed presence, speaker. Federico says, I have to go. If you guys spot more broken things or anything is unclear, please open issues on the GitHub repository. Bro, thank you so much for hanging out. I know I'm kind of trailing at this point, but thank you for hanging out and chatting with us for a little bit. Really do appreciate you being here. And I think we will definitely keep an eye on this. I know I will, because again, I think this is a very cool integration to have, and I think being able to visually build something out would be a very cool way to build automations rather than using YAML or kind of the builder that's here. Like I'm comfortable with this builder, this automation builder, but I think having something like this kind of built into built into Home Assistant is going to be very, very cool. So I'm excited to see. Can I? Okay. Let's see. I think maybe. Can I do this? No, let's do this. A note that I would have, I think, is that here I am, like I'm in here, right? I'm trying to build this automation. If I select device, this is fine. I can select device, but I can't type anything in here. So I think that would be having it so we can type into this, so that if I wanted to say, I can get there by pressing S to get to different things. My stupid face is in the way again. Oops. But I can come in here and I can say the device. I can tap through and get S's. But I think it would be nice to be able to actually type in here as an option as well. So type in drop down for platform, device, and trigger type. So that way you could just click over here and start typing and have it kind of autocomplete. Let's see, with autocomplete. That would be something that I'm noticing here that would be nice, but I don't know how that would work. Any presence detector recommendations? Have thoughts on movement? I'm actually kind of a big fan of the Aqara stuff, though some of it's been kind of hit and miss for me. I've got an Aqara FP2 in my bedroom. That's how the automations are triggered as far as presence is concerned. Let me move stupid here. But I know that Akara's got some other stuff available as well. If you're into Zigbee, then the Sonoff is Zigbee human presence. Okay, well that's good because I would rather have a Zigbee. No, I'd rather have a Zigbee presence sensor than a Wi-Fi presence sensor because it's one of the issues that I've run into pretty regularly. I had the one in the bedroom that I've been using for a long time, the Akara FP2. And it's like, cool, I want to do automations in the studio. I want to do automations in the kids' bedroom based on whether or not somebody's there. And the one in the bedroom has been pretty much flawless, knock on wood or whatever. But the other two just keep falling off the internet connection, off of the network. And that's super, super frustrating. So we got presence detection. Oh, screw off. Utilizes 5.8 gigahertz microwave radar to detect both moving and stationary individuals. It automatically turns lights on when you approach and keeps them on until you leave. That's great. Ambient light sensing. Love that. Zigbee 3 compatible. Compatible with Zigbee 3 HUDs such as this and this and this. I feel like this should work, enable Zigbee devices. Okay, great. This is not what I'm waiting for. We need smart automation features, which creates smart automations out of the box for an average end user without any technical knowledge at all. I don't think you're going to get that. I don't think you're going to get that. Like, because the room or the device isn't going to know what you want. It's not going to know what you've got automatically. Like, I think the closest you might get would be something like a Homey Pro. But the issue that I have with them is that they still require you to register most of the devices with the app, whether whether that's Tapo, whether that's I don't even know. Like, so you have to register your devices with their native app, and then get the app plug-in into Homey that will then import those things. And then you can build a couple of different kind of things. But yeah, like that's the type of ecosystem that Amazon builds with the Echo, right? Like, and so if you're looking for that kind of seamless thing, you're never gonna, like, it's always going to be cloud and internet dependent. My goal with what I'm trying to do in my home with my setup is to make it so that I am not cloud and internet dependent. So this might be exactly what I'm looking for, and especially when you consider that the Akara FP2, this is what I've got. They're like $60, and that sucks. Hey Ben, how you doing, man? Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you being here. We're talking about some Home Assistant stuff this morning. We spent a little while looking at C.A.F.E, which is still very much in beta. We were lucky enough to have the developer here for a little while, and we chatted with him a little bit. He's very gracious and accepting of what's kind of going on, and was looking at some of the stuff that I was having issues with. And his response is, some of it is still a shit show. Those are his words, not mine. I'm not trying to be like, dude was great, loved having him here. But yeah, this is very, very cool, and I'm excited to see it continue to grow. If you look at this, there was a release 5 hours ago, and 20 hours ago, and yesterday, and 2 days ago, and 2 days ago, and 2 days ago, and like, this dude's really, really on top of it. So, and he said that he really appreciates the feedback that he's getting. Like, he's been really on top of issues, which I love. 65 closed issues, still 10 more here. Mr. Grey Wolf, glad to have you here. Thanks for stopping by, man. Yeah, so that's what we've been looking at. And we were kind of talking about presence sensors. Somebody asked, If anybody had a good suggestion there, I said Akara, and it was immediately introduced to the Sonoff Zigbee Human Presence Sensor, the SNZB06P, and for that price, I may buy a couple of them. Because for these prices, are you kidding me? Though I have to wonder. Let's see. It says it's compatible with Zigbee 3 hubs, so I would guess I would need to. I would need to see what my Zigbee hub is. Devices, because I don't remember. The one I've got is the one that Nighthawk sent me. He sent me this one. Yep, that's the one that I've got. But I don't know if I don't know what version it is. It says, "Oh, compatible with Zigbee 3.0 products." Yay! So in that case, then I should, compatible with Zigbee 3 hubs. Yay! Cool. So I may be buying a few of these and testing them out because, again, I'm not a huge fan of kind of the setup process with the Akara stuff. The fact that I've got two of them that won't stay connected, like that's such a great price for that. I'm going to take a look here. I'm not seeing it. Can't buy it here. Oh, why is it tools and home improvement? That's the Switch bot. Still more expensive. So that really the Smile Wolf. What? This is that's weird. They look exactly the same. Second row, did I miss it? Yeah, these are all Smile Wolf. Oh, there it is. They can eat my butt with a spoon. Like, like I understand that I could have it here Monday. But that's twice the price. Okay, so this is $15 off for that. Let's say I bought 3 of them, right? Add to cart. $53 for 3 of them. Spend $5.30 more and get free shipping. Interesting. Huh. Smart controls, gateways, and sensors. I mean, some of these would be nice. Got to be a 4-pack. You would hope, but it's Amazon, so you know it's not. Like, 1-pack right there. 1-pack for $30. 1-pack for $30. Let's go to the Sonoff store. Zigbee series. So we've got Yipes. Yeah, Yipes, I agree. Sprinkler timer. Smart light switch. Okay. Smart plug. Zigbee dongle. Temperature and humidity sensor. So much of this is unavailable. Holy cow. All of this down here is unavailable. That sucks. They don't have much going on there. I guess if I get this, I'll have to do it directly via. So much of this is unavailable. Do you guys see this? Like everything I'm clicking on, that this is available. Yay. Wi-Fi smart switch with temperature monitoring compatible with Alexa Google Assistant. Unavailable. Holy cow, man. Ooh, that's kind of sexy. What is, I want this, and I haven't even seen it yet. Dude, I like that a lot. That looks really good. In panel, let's open up a new tab here. I know shopping wasn't really on the agenda for today, but okay, that's just the enclosure for the panel. Panel smart scene. Let's take a look at both of these. Oh, this is an in wall. Wait. Touch to control synced devices. Okay. The shape of that makes it look like it's supposed to go like in the wall. Where did it go? Interesting. And then there's this. Wait, is there yeah, see, even this has got a thing on the back. So a 4.7-inch display is a larger display. That's kind of unfortunate. I've got 10-inch tablets everywhere. Whether you're adjusting lighting, monitoring energy usage, checking camera feeds, managing thermostat. So it's got Zigbee hub built in. Add Zigbee devices directly from the screen with the Zigbee 3 control. So interesting. So does this then work with like Home Assistant, I guess? Or is it just a Zigbee device controller? Built-in Zigbee and Matter Hub. That's kind of cool. Weird. It's all within grasp. Interesting. Huh. Alibaba. Yeah, maybe. Though I don't know if I would want to trust Alibaba. Let's do AliExpress. Let's just see, right? Let's just see. If I type that into there, God, dude, all of these pop-ups. Bro, relax. Sonoff. Let's see what this says. 20 bucks. 20 bucks for that. 27. That almost looked like a 2-pack. Like this makes me think it's a 2-pack, but I bet it's only a 1-pack. Should work with the application I need. Interesting. Search for Home Assistant on here. Dang. Temperature. Wow. That's let me see. I've got Privacy Browser or Privacy Badger on here. I don't think I've got Firefox installed. Oh, I do. Let's no, not now. And screw it. Let's do uBlock, because that's getting uBlock. Origin, yeah. Add Firefox. That's fine. Do that. Cool. All right. Let's go back over. Oh, you know what? That's, come on, work with me here. Let's do that. Let's try this. Let's see if this works any better. Okay, I don't care. All right, let's see what else we got in here. Got some Zigbee, Tuya Zigbee Smart Home Hub, Smart Hub Wireless Wired Gateway. Huh. The Tuya stuff, man. It'll take a month to get to it right. Going shopping, yeah. I probably not going to buy anything right now. Not to say that I won't later. Temperature sensor with free bonus hidden microphone. Right. Yeah. Wasn't it one of the KVMs recently had a microphone in it that was just part of the original board that wasn't removed before they took it to production. I thought that was interesting. But yeah, I don't know what I would actually use a lot of this for. Again, I really would like to have some better presence sensors, you know, like the Sonoff. Yeah. But yeah, this is absolutely got to be a single. That's a hub or whatever, bridge. This has got to just be a single And for that price, I mean, I'd rather spend an extra, what was it, $5 to get it from Amazon, and $4, whatever. But then I have to wonder, right? For 18 bucks, New Year's deal ends. I feel like I would rather order a few things from these guys, and figure out what $5 thing to add to this. You can DIY presence sensors with an ESP32 board. Yeah, I've actually done some of that. In fact, I bought some ESP32 boards that I was going to do ES Presence with, or I guess now it's ESP Home, but I was going to do kind of an ES Presence thing, and actually tie it to my smartwatch that I got for Christmas. I had a different smartwatch that I had before that, but originally I was going to use, when I first started getting into the idea of presence sensors and that sort of thing, I had set up an ES Presence configuration with an ESP32 that I had, and tried to get my Samsung S10 or whatever I had at the time to work with it. And it was such a nightmare because of Samsung's Bluetooth Mac spoofing hopping thing that it does. And I hate it. It was, you couldn't use this to do that. Now there's an app that you can use now, so that like if you got the app on your phone, you can tie the app to ES Presence or ESP Home or whatever it is now, and do it that way. And I've considered doing something like that, but not everybody is going to have a configured device. And if somebody comes in to my house, I would like it to work for everybody, not just somebody who has a paired device. So that's why I would probably end up going this direction with it. If I have some pretty good presence door opening light sound sensors that work with Home Assistant, but yeah, they're like 65 bucks each. That doesn't surprise me. Like it's Unify. Unify is one of those brands that just is able to command a bit more money. Everything works really well. So yeah. So that doesn't necessarily surprise me, is what I'm getting at there. What I am looking at, somebody who had I think I saw an article about somebody who had a speaker mic combo tied to Raspberry Pi and turned his whole house into Jarvis. Yeah, I've seen stuff like that. And in fact, I had something like that for a while, with the Home Assistant Voice PE, and Olama, and I don't remember which LLM I used, but I was able to kind of tie all that together and use AI via the Home Assistant Voice PE and Home Assistant, and it worked pretty well. But like right now, like I use it to like turn on the lights or turn off the lights, whatever. But more than anything, I use it for those voice reminders that it sends me and my wife to take out the trash and do those sorts of things. So it's mostly out. The Home Assistant Voice PE is up and running strictly for the sake of getting voice reminders, because we could have it sent to our phone. I know that I could do that with reminders on my phone or notifications on my phone via Home Assistant, but it's too easy to just swipe something away. If you hear it, I think, at least for me, I'm more likely to act on it if I hear somebody say, "Hey, go do this thing." If a notification pops up on my phone, I'm probably just going to swipe it away. So, yeah, that's my little rant about why I did it the hard way instead of the easy way. Here we go. Let's look at some sensors, because I like the idea of sensors. 15 bucks a piece. I mean, it's still not bad. Let's see. We've got air quality, temperature, temp and humidity. That's the presence sensor we've been looking at. Gateways. Again, I think these panels look really cool. But again, if they're really like only 4 inches, I don't know that it would be worth the downgrade. I've already got a dongle for all my Zigbee Z-Wave stuff, thanks to Nighthawk. Some NFC tags, water leak detection cable. This actually wouldn't be terrible. Sensors do we have? Oh, let's do this. Because we've got the house that I live in was built in the 70s, and back then, at least where I live, the sewage, the line that goes from the house out to the main sewage system, back then they built them with clay, and the problem with that is they're only good for so long before they start to have issues, and they then planted a tree right on top of it, so every so often I have to put some ZEP, I think it's called ZEP, through the lines to kill the roots from the tree that are infiltrating. And if I don't do that, then a plumber has to come out and clean the lines, and it's a disaster. If that line gets backed up, plugged, then when we do anything with our plumbing, dishwasher, sink, bathroom, whatever, it all backs up into our laundry room, and that sucks. So I'd like to have some sort of a moisture detector kind of thing that I can put there, so that if it backs up or starts having issues, then it will let me know. I don't know why didn't it show me? Nope. Interesting. So I would like to find that. The door window one is crap on power consumption. Spot one. It said something like 8+ months. It's 2 months on a window door that opened and closed 10 times. Wow. Yeah, that's not good on battery life at all. Can we let me search for water? A leak. Oh, there we go. Leak sensor. Let me actually look at both of those, because this would be nice to have, because in theory, I could just put it kind of in that area, right? Yeah, this one says 5 years with a CR 2477. I don't know why they would put it on a on a table like that. That seems kind of silly to have a moisture or a leak alarm on a table. What is? Oh, so you need the leak sensor and the detection cable? What? So you need both. Interesting. When a guest spills their wine, right? Yeah, I mean, that's possible. We don't have a lot of guests, but that does that. So you need this sensor, because if these two, you guys can't see my damn screen. So this part would, I guess, go down. Yeah, and then if water connects those 2 points, then there's a problem. Yeah, no, you're right. No, I realized that. Thank you. I just wasn't paying attention. So yeah, so if we've got, so we have to have extended, I don't understand extended detection support. Maybe there's more information in here. Leak detection, that is just more of the same. Yep, right, get that. Yep. Okay, so what's the other part for then? Great, I don't care about UV. Leak detection there, great. Okay, option 1, Matter certified hardware. Matter. Wait, is this not, works with Apple Home via Matter Bridge? All solutions integrate Zigbee devices into our Apple ecosystem via, wait, so this should still work. That's longer wire for longer reach, but no, like, because like if you look here, All right, let's zoom in a whole bunch, maybe. Maybe that was too much. Like it's just this puck right up here sitting on the floor. And it's just a puck sitting there with those little prongs, these prongs sitting downward. So I don't know what. Okay, wide range detection or narrow area inspection, water leaks can be detected. It's connected in series without any limits on total length. Water leak, let's zoom out. Water leak detection cable. Is it so if the cable gets wet? Eric, thanks so much for hanging out. Appreciate you. Have fun doing laundry. That doesn't sound like it, but I hope you do. All right, wide range detection or narrow leak, leaving no water leaks undetected. The extension cable can be connected in series without any limit or total length. In high humidity conditions, the water leak detection cable may trigger leak detection. So this is just, okay, so if the cable gets wet, then yeah, that's weird. Like I don't hate it, but it seems like even with what it says up here, of like if it's in a high humidity area, then it can, in high humidity conditions, the water leak detector may cause a trigger or may trigger leak detection. So cable gets wet and then bridges that, then that's weird. Yeah, I mean, so you don't necessarily need this detection cable. You could just use this, but more area. Yeah. So that was confusing for me at first because it seemed like maybe that was like a power source for this, but this has got its own battery. So this is just giving more. But it doesn't show me what the underside of that looks like, which probably doesn't matter, but I'm neurotic and I want to know what the underside of it looks like. Interesting. 2-year hassle-free warranty, 30-day no reason returns. I feel like, man, I wonder. Let's close out some of this stuff. Sonoff. Yeah. And as much as I would like to have these, if the batteries say 5 years, but it's not that, then definitely that's unfortunate. This, though I have to wonder. I tell you what, let's just do one, just because I'm curious. Let's check out. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Delivery. The batteries last forever. Yeah, I'd be interested because I'd like to have. I'm just going to have to do this and see what happens. I don't want to do that. Let's do. Because I'm just kind of curious about. I'm curious about what shipping would look like. Oh, wow. Okay. So, of course. Really, shipping is not bad, if I'm being honest here. 2 to 7 days, 2 to 7 business days USPS for $5. Which again, really not terrible at all. But then let's. Can I? All right, hold on. So I'm going to go to here. I'm going to change this to 3 just because I want to see what the what happens to the checkout there. or sorry, to the shipping rather. Oh, it changed it from $5 to $6. So that's actually not too terrible. So I may go that route because I'm curious about these, because I would much rather use Zigbee for this kind of thing than I would Wi-Fi, because I've had so many issues again with these Akaras. Oh, all right. So let's see. Collins sent this. I'm going to close this. All right. But see, the problem I have with those is that they're Tuya. And I've got like Tuya off, or whatever the Tuya is, the Tuya local or local Tuya, or whatever it's called. I can never remember. Roku, Llama, man. Yeah, local Tuya, with just 3 devices on there. So they would, I guess I would have to know. Oh, those just connect via Zigbee, huh? Interesting. I have not looked at the IKEA stuff, though I should. Oh, so they've got all kinds of different names on them. I should look at the IKEA stuff, because there's an IKEA not too far from me. I say that, about an hour from me, up just south of Denver. AliExpress. Come on, it's loading so slowly. There we go. Screw you, I hate those so much. Whoa. Yeah, definitely gonna Discord. Oh, it's installing updates. Interesting. It's gonna be a minute. Come on. Oh, now it's starting. Let's see. All right. Interesting. Where'd they go? There they are. It seems like. Come on. It would be neat to have some sensors for different things, I think. Man, it doesn't want to give me anything there, though, does it? Let's try this. I think if this doesn't work, I'm going to have to rely solely on Collins. Interesting. Contact sensor. Like, you got to be real specific about it. Oh, well, for 99 cents a piece, I think. Wait. Zigbee millimeter wave radar motion sensor, human detector with a luminance temperature humidity sensor, supports Tuya Zigbee 2MQTT. Just sent the link. Did you? Yeah, you did. Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good deal. Yeah, but you can order one at a time. I hate it when they do that. Max 1 piece per shopper. I hate it so much when they do that. Give me a price that's not for one, right? That's super frustrating. Fast order fulfillment, everything okay? That's great. Because I'd really like to have. Oh, you're logged in though. I don't know if I think I've got to log in here. I should. Oh, I do. Let's sign in. Okay, we can all order one for you, right? Let's do it this way, I guess, and see what happens. Wait, what? I feel like the price changed. I don't know what the price was before, but I feel like the price changed. And I can still only add to cart, right? And it won't let me add more. Add to cart, maybe? Of course it did. It's AliExpress, right? Bait and switch, right? I don't know. If somebody can like scroll back 30 seconds or something, my price is $6.75 each. That's hilarious. Includes import charges. Extra 1% off with coins. Yeah, it won't let me add more than one. Oh, but you can order up to 413 at once. What the hell? Wasn't it like two? Yeah, that's okay. Thank you. That's what I thought. I thought it was considerably less than that. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. Wow. All right. Now it's. Hold on. I tell you what. Let's do this. Let's make sure that something here didn't change. Don't refresh now. It'll be more, right? Oops. Yeah. Sure enough, I clicked open. I clicked the link again that Colin sent me in Discord just to make sure. Yeah, there's. Interesting. Yeah, one of these days, I guess I need to look at the Zigbee to MQTT. I don't understand what it does or what it's for. Like if I'm doing stuff Zigbee, isn't it all local anyway? Like I guess I don't understand the purpose of Zigbee to MQTT. Much better support, better features. It won't make your devices faster, but it'll give you other features. Sorry, that's what it says over here. It's a versatile and affordable home automation solution that allows you to control a wide range of Zigbee devices via home automation server, offering flexibility, local control, and increased customization compared to manufacturers' proprietary Zigbee gateways. Interesting. I Oh yeah, I can share that. Hold on, let me find this again, and I'll share it. This is the link that I was given. Oh, thanks, Collins. Oh, it is tea time. Hi. Yes, it is. That's why I'm using this. It works really well. Yeah. No, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks. Ben says, put this on your list. Dockhand. It might replace Portainer. I looked at Dockhand a couple of weeks ago, I think, and I didn't really find it to be as useful as I wanted it to be, but maybe I just wasn't looking at it right. I know that people have made some content about it recently. I think you did, didn't you? Tom Lawrence made a video about it, I think yesterday. Oh man, that is so hot. Holy cow. What do we have today? Yep. Orange spice. Good stuff. I need to take another look at it to give it a fair shake. But yeah, Dockhand is something that I think I have actually installed. Let me see, procs. That's not helpful. Man, I can't remember. I don't remember what my what my testing proxmox URL is, and it's not and it's not showing up over here. That's dumb. Different one. Oh, okay. No, man, you're good. I appreciate the interjection there. Dockhand. Yep. Yeah, definitely should take a look at this. The code is naked. Deal with it. That's funny. Free versus SMB versus enterprise. Support, priority bug fixes, LDAP and Active Directory, role-based access control. It's fine. Whew. They, holy cow. They got some opinions about that. I genuinely hope it's worth it. Anyway, yeah. No idea why mine is $5.65, and I can only buy one. Yeah, $225 before the login, $5.95 after, and it only lets you buy one as well. That is so weird. I don't understand that. I genuinely don't. Like if I click add to cart, it says added to cart, but it doesn't change my number over here. Checkout. Shipped by AliExpress. Oh shoot. Yeah, I don't understand that. That's so strange. Yeah, man, I don't know. But I might have to check some of that out at some point, just to see, because it would be nice. Because like one of the issues that we have, like during the summer anyway, is like if the kid goes out and plays in the backyard forever and ever and ever, and then comes in when it's dinner time, he will very often leave like all of the doors all of the way through open. And it would just be nice to know that they're at least closed. But it happens. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. We're hoping, honestly, we're hoping that mortgage rates, mortgage interest rates come down a little bit, because at like 6%, I can't afford it. I would love to actually be able to buy a place at some point. Even though it's for my freezer door, for when it just pops open. Holy cow. Yeah, that I would definitely consider it for something like that. We've had a couple of times where the kid's gotten up in the middle of the night to get to refill his water or whatever, and then we'll just leave the freezer door open all night. So things like that would be good. Oh, that's a good idea. Automation on the back door to know if the door is open. Yeah, that would be no good. Keep them on my basement door so I know if somebody is going to sneak up on me when I'm in the office. That's a really good idea. Yeah, I could put one on the door that leads from the garage into here, or like into the house, whatever. I could put one there. That would be a good way to know. Oh man. Oh, to be young again, right? Yep, I get that. Let's see what else we got here. It's orange spice. It's the same stuff that I had last week. I've got this English breakfast or Earl Grey as far as what we've got available to me, just because I can't have certain types of tea due to my meds. But I don't remember if it was last week or the week before. Tea. No, that wasn't it. Can't think of the name of it. Tea, Earl Grey, hot, right? But a company reached out to me a few months ago about tea, which I thought was weird. It's Cloudy Tree Tea. That's what it's called. And they had something come up and then kind of ghosted me for a while. And we chatted about it. Everything is good, but apparently they've got they've got some new flavors coming or whatever. So apparently, they're going to send me something. I don't know what it's going to be as far as the flavors are concerned. DBT, that's funny. But they're going to be sending me some tea and a cup of some variety. I don't. They mentioned that they had a glass. I don't know what they're sending, but I think I'm kind of hoping it's this one. That's kind of like the coffee cup style. I really like the look of that. But they're going to be sending me something here soonish, and we'll do a live thing on stream, just because I told them I would. And then if it goes well, if I like the flavors, if as long as everything checks out, then there may be kind of an ongoing or a continued collaboration there. But like I've seen a lot of people, have got like the G Fuel sponsorships or the whatever drink sponsorship what happens to be, and I've always wanted one of those. And of course, you guys know that I drink a lot of tea. I'm a big tea drinker, big fan of that. So it's kind of seemed serendipitous, though it is kind of strange for a tea company to reach out to a tech content creator. It actually seems to work pretty well because again, I like tea, and it seems like, I don't know, blog. Let's look how to brew tea. So it seems like you get, choose the right water, mind your temperature for green, these degrees, oolong for this. So they actually give you temperature ranges, which I appreciate. 1 teaspoon. So this is I guess going to be loose leaf tea, which I don't have a lot of experience with, but it looks like loose leaf stuff going on here. I wasn't sure if that was for just for the product shot or if that's how they did it. But it seems like maybe their whole shtick is loose leaf tea. Why are we? I was reading. Wow, too many images. Holy cow! I just want to read the description. Experience okay. Cold brewing extracts flavor, reducing bitterness. Great. I don't know if I'll do it cold or hot. I was kind of hoping they would share more about. Yeah, I think it's loose leaf. I don't know, man. But hopefully here soon, they'll be sending that over so I can check it out, and possibly have a drink sponsor, because that would be fun. I told them that if they ever get a mango flavor that I really, really want, that I really want to try that. If it's loose leaf, don't forget to get an infuser. I think we've got a couple of infusers. I would hope that they would, like with one of these kits, because they've got. Man, I just had a weird deja vu moment here. Because it looks like they've got like one of these big kits, right? Like it's got a couple of glasses, the cup, the bottle, some tea. I would hope they would include an infuser or diffuser or whatever. And you're right, Alex. You never thought you'd hear me say too many images. Yeah, like if I'm trying to read, because like the text was this text was there and then it got pushed way down while I was trying to read. But it doesn't explicitly say anything about an infuser. So definitely curious about that. So I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm excited to try it out just to see how it compares to other tea that I've tried. But yeah, so we'll see what happens there. Let's see what else. Let's see, what do we have going on here? No, that didn't refresh. That was dumb. Automation import failing for device triggers. Interesting. Let's see. But anyway, so back to VAS. I think we've got a couple of infusers. I'll have to see, but I'm pretty sure I've got I think I've got one that is like a little dude that sits on the side of your cup, and I think we've got one that's like a Zelda sword that sits on the side of the cup. That should be fine. I have to see. Let's see. Trying to stay warm. Yeah, you have that. Yeah, that little tea infuser guy is pretty popular. Infuser guy. Yeah, it's we've got this. This is the one we've got. It's or at least some version of that. It looks a lot like it anyway. So we got one of those, and we've got a tea infuser sword that I think looks like this one. I got one that's a Garfield fishing, and the infuser is a bobber underwater. I've seen something like that recently that I thought was really cute. Ooh, don't do that. There we go. My my little lap blankie here turned off, and I'm getting cold. But I've seen some that were like a Garfield fishing or something like that, and I thought that would be kind of fun too. But yeah, so I'm kind of excited to see how that goes. Kind of excited to see how this keeps developing. Again, really stoked that we got a chance to at least look at it in a beta phase so that we can get a better idea of how it goes later on. Forsaken is here. Glad to have you here, man. Thanks for stopping by. But definitely curious to see how C.A.F.E continues to go. The developer seems like a great guy, person, team, whatever. I hope that people don't immediately decide to classify it as like AI slop just because Claude was used in some of the stuff. I would be curious to know to what degree AI was used, but as long as the code works and it's clean and it's actually being evaluated, I don't think it's as big of a deal. Ben says, you still using Twitch for your live streams? I'm not. I did from like January to August of last year, and then I ran into a couple of determining factors on that. One, I wanted to use a streaming app called Meld. I like Meld quite a bit. It gives me a lot of the features that I'm looking for streaming and that sort of thing. Mostly it's the multi-stream thing. So it allows me to connect to YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and TikTok. I can connect to all kinds of different things without having to pay for it, which I really appreciated. I really liked that aspect of it. The problem that I had while I was trying to use it last year was that Meld wouldn't allow me to if I pre-scheduled a live stream on YouTube, it wouldn't let me then select that pre-scheduled thing over on YouTube. So it would so on Meld, if I went live, it was live and that was it. And it was live on YouTube. It was live on Twitch. It doesn't matter what I had pre-scheduled. It didn't respect that. There was no way to select it, is what I'm getting at. And now, and so that was part of it. It was a lot of hassle to use Meld and do both YouTube and Twitch, even though Meld made it easier in certain regards. But after 8 months of streaming on Twitch every week, every Saturday like we do here, I really wasn't seeing any growth. I wasn't seeing anything that led me to believe that it was going to be beneficial to me at all. And I know that sucks because I know that there were certain people I know Mr. Grey Wolf was over there a lot. Halexia was over there a lot as the primary streaming platform that they preferred to watch on. And I apologize for discontinuing that. But the amount of effort that I was having to put in to get the streams to work on both platforms, again, as much as I appreciate the support I was getting there, it didn't make sense for my mental health to see no growth over there at all. So I decided in I think August of last year to discontinue Twitch. And it's given me a lot more opportunity to focus more of my efforts here, because like YouTube will roll an ad at a different time than Twitch would roll an ad. So I was having to like kind of keep tabs on both of it. You should have tried ASMR. You would have seen a lot of growth. Yeah, ASMR videos aren't my thing at all. I don't like them. I like, and the people who do like the ASMR eating things, I would rather end humanity than listen to somebody chew. Like it makes me viscerally angry when I can hear somebody chew. And like I've got no control over it. Even if I try to understand, like, look, maybe they're not trying to chew loudly. Maybe it's just the sound of them chewing, man. It sets me off. I have to leave the room. Like it is bad. Yeah, there's an actual term for it. Angry over hearing people chew. There's an actual misophonia is what it's called. And yeah, like and just listening to people chew, man, I would rather end humanity. People pouring fizzy drinks in movies, yeah. What makes it worse, at least on my end, you would think manners, right? But like our kid on the spectrum, on the severe end of things, will sometimes start chewing loudly. And I'll be like, bro, close your mouth. And to him, for some reason, that makes him think he needs to chew louder and open his mouth more when he chews. So we rarely actually have any kind of family dinners together because I can't. It's very much like he can't control some of his behaviors when he gets to a certain point. I very much can't control how angry it makes me to hear him chew, and it's not just him; it's anybody. So I just ASMR, mukbang videos. I would rather never get back on the internet. You should have used a skimpy dress. Your sex appeal would have boosted your growth on Twitch. Yeah, no, nobody, not even me, nobody wants to see this. But it seemed to work for a lot of people. I'm just not one of those people. It would have got me shut down pretty quick, I think. It's not good. But yeah, so I got rid of the Twitch thing. I've been trying to focus more on the YouTube side of things. I've thought about trying other avenues of streaming and that sort of thing. But I've spent so many years building an audience here on YouTube that and look, I know it's good to diversify, and I understand all of that. But I don't know that streaming on I don't know that streaming on Twitch or Facebook or TikTok or OF would do anything that would be kind of like the juice wouldn't be worth the squeeze, I guess. So I try to make sure that I'm here, doing this every week on YouTube, because you guys are amazing. You guys keep me in a position where I can, pay my bills and keep a roof over my head, have some flexibility, take a mental health day if I need it, not really have to answer to Steve. Don't know why I said Steve. Steve, I know a Steve. but I don't. He's not my boss. But yeah, so I don't. The idea of having to, the idea of not doing this, sometimes like gives me anxiety. The idea of having to stop doing this, if it ever gets to a point where it's not fiscally viable, to continue to do this. So, but yeah, so so I want to keep doing this. Like this is this is where I've spent most of my effort. This is where I've spent a lot of my time and my effort. And though I have screwed up countless times over the years with the way I've presented myself or the way I've treated people, I've been trying to make up for that the best I know how, by continuing to do the live streams and the content and trying to still build a community based on who I am now instead of who I was then. So so yeah, I'm going to keep doing this for as long as I can, as long as it makes sense, as long as you guys keep watching. You know, because like, look, the YouTube revenue itself isn't great. I think Ben, also being a content creator, who uploads regularly, can probably attest to ad revenue on YouTube not great. So, but I do it for the community. I do it because you guys keep donating memberships and that sort of thing, and we have a good time together. And I really value what we've got going on here, which I know sounds sappy or whatever, but it's true. Like, as I mentioned earlier in this stream, but also in previous live streams as well. Like this is a good chunk of my social life, right? Like people out there suck, but people here, Collins, wasn't trying to hint, but I appreciate it. But yeah, no, this is where a lot of my social activity happens, because we're like-minded individuals, and if you upset me, I can mute you. So yeah, it gives me a warm fuzzy to keep doing this. In fact, today is my channel's 15th birthday, as it turns out, according to what I'm seeing here in YouTube's dashboard. Congrats, your channel is 15 today and aging beautifully. Many happy returns. So yeah, I didn't even realize that. Oh, Sven, thank you. It can almost drive. It could be in driver's training. That's kind of a crazy thing to think about. You know, and I spent a lot of years comparing my channel to other channels, comparing me to other creators, and I realized after far too many years that that wasn't going to get me anywhere positive. That the more I tried to focus on doing better or doing more, or fast, thank you. Yeah, I actually had my driver's license on my 15th birthday. I was in driver's training at 14, but that was 1996. And we lived in a very small town in Idaho where you could do that. It has since changed. You can't get your driver's license that early anymore. But like, yeah, we lived in a very small town in nowhere, Idaho. And I was in driver's training at 14. And literally on my 15th birthday went and got my driver's license. It was only daytime. I couldn't drive at night, but it was whatever. And you guys are right. Comparison is the thief of joy. But that's the only way that I knew how to quantify or qualify what I was doing. Is my channel growing and as fast as this other channel? Is my content as good as this other channel? And I spent a lot of time doing that. And what I realized eventually is that, you know, I would see, in 1990, I would see other channels that that started after my channel, that were smaller than my channel, just blow by me. That would just, they went, like, I had 50,000 subscribers and they had 20,000 subscribers. And then I had 55,000 subscribers and they had 90,000 subscribers. And I would see these channels do that. And even in my own niche to a certain degree. And it wrecked me. It devastated me. And I know that a lot of it had to do, all of it had to do with me. As those things were happening, I was in a really bad mental health space, and I was pumping out content for the sake of pumping out content, not because I cared. I felt like I was obligated to do that. And there were very often times where, because of my own mental health issues that I was dealing with, and not dealing with them well, I was very vitriolic in my responses to certain people, in my own comment section. I was an awful person, and I wasn't paying attention to what was going on. I was like, okay, here's a new container, here's a new video, here's a new container, here's a new video, and I was doing 3 videos a week, just cranking them out. So at that point, for me, it was more about quantity than quality. It was more about getting the video out than it was understanding what my audience was looking for. It was very much me just putting my head down and trying to trudge through life, because again, my mental health was bad, my physical health was bad, but this was paying me enough to help me cover my bills. So I've been trying to, over the last few years, change my mindset on that. I've been trying to pay attention to what my audience is telling me. I've been trying to figure out a better approach to this kind of thing. And it's why even last year I was doing a couple of videos a week and sometimes trying to do a live stream. And I realized that was too much. I would rather spend a bit more time on one video and make it better than have 2 videos that were both crap. And look, I know I still miss things. I still make mistakes. I still go through all of that process. But this has kind of put me into a position where I can release a video a week and do a live stream almost every week. And luckily, you guys keep coming and watching the VODs, and you're participating in the live streams, and you're doing crazy things like donating gift memberships or like hitting the tip button or going over to PayPal or whatever. Like, that was unintentional. That was just a random thing from Nightbot there. I did not trigger that. But you guys keep doing that. You guys keep me going. And I genuinely appreciate that, because I don't know what I would do if I didn't have this. Like this gives me the ability to, like, I had to take most of December off minus some live streams. And even those, you guys were like asking me if I was okay, because I looked like garbage. But you guys keep doing this. You guys keep coming back and watching the content, and you keep supporting me. So as long as you keep doing that, I feel like this is where I need to be. So I'm going to try to keep making content that you find interesting. I'm going to keep trying to do live streams that may go off the rails and may just be us chatting, or maybe talking about a specific thing, product, service, integration, whatever. And it may start there and it may go off the rails like it has here. But you guys keep watching and you keep hanging out and you keep giving me the idea that maybe this is where I'm supposed to be for right now. So I'm going to keep trying to make better content and fun content. And I'm going to try to ignore when a video flops, even though I feel like it should have done better. I'm going to keep doing it as long as you guys keep hanging out with me. So Mental says I'm here for the fun. I appreciate that. Let's see. Ben said I had a girl that started a channel about the same time as me, and she's at 144,000 subs. I had to stop caring. Yeah, like she's kicking my butt. Had to remember that my channel really isn't meant to keep people coming back. It's more about helping people when they need it on a particular software. Yeah. You know, and for a long time, so I really kind of started making content about self-hosting and that sort of thing in like 2020. There was some before that. In fact, let me go look over here. If I go to videos and I go to oldest, in fact, let's just look at this real quick. Right. So this is my channel. Like we're looking at DB Tech here, right? And like there's fish stuff here. I had some Oscars. I've got Oscars now again. Like this video right here, I made to show the woman who is now my wife how to send a heart emoji. That video did 38,000 views. People still watch it 12 years later. I made a video about replacing the heater core in a 1998 Volvo. Right, so there's a lot of nonsense. I did a lot of just garbage product reviews. This is the dumbest video I ever made. This right here. Make sure my audio is down. I don't want any desktop audio here. Yay, that was me 8 years ago. But basically, this company sent me. They sent me this little 4-port SATA 3 mini PCI controller card, and they're like, "Here, make a video." And I was like, "I don't know." Like, so I ended up finding another card. Oh, here's the unboxing of that. But I had this Wi-Fi adapter card that I was able to Frankenstein in the SATA adapter card and make it work. And I made this video about it. They did 196,000 views. It was the dumbest video, the dumbest idea I ever had. It was kind of like, like the stuff that Theo Joe used to do back in the day, like not quite to that level, but it was just like, here's some stuff you could do if you wanted to waste some time. And then I started doing some other stuff with like virtualization and that sort of thing. And a lot of this stuff, when I made it, was meant, yeah, there's a coffee pot or a coffee brewing thing from Barsetto. But a lot of this ended up being kind of like evergreen content. It was content that I could release, and maybe it wouldn't do well today or tomorrow, but over the course of a year, it might do considerable views, right? It was meant to be more of a slow burn. A lot of this content was that way. Like this one, installing Windows 10 on a Chromebook, 500,000 views on that. And I've done others. Yeah, this video is still in my videos that like show up as far as what people have watched in the last 48 hours. Chrome is missing or damaged. Here's how to fix it. 500,000 views. This is my most pirated video. People just ripping it off and sticking it on their channel. So my point of all of this is a lot of my early content was meant to be evergreen, right? It was meant to be, it wasn't going to do well today, but over the course of time, it would be fine. And that's not how content works on YouTube anymore. Evergreen content doesn't seem to work as well as it used to. And that sucks, because that had been my strategy for so long, doing evergreen content, that having to stay so current constantly all of the time of what's the newest thing, what's the newest trend, what is everybody doing right now? Oh, this was yesterday's content, it doesn't matter today. And that has been something I've struggled with a lot. Because you can see, like, here's Plex on OMV5. That video, that was kind of a slow burn, but did okay in the long run. And a lot of this was meant to be evergreen slow burn content. But then, Open Media Vault 5 went to Open Media Vault 6, which pissed me off. I hated Open Media Vault 6 so much. Made a video about it. They fixed some of it in 7. 7 was better, and now 8 is out. It's hard to trend on YouTube today. Yeah. And that's, like a lot of these videos have done well enough, all things considered. But it's, I'm kind of a niche. The content that I create is such a niche content. And again, like Ben understands that. I know Ben understands that. Because his content is very similar to mine, just not on crack. I'm not on crack, for the record. I want to be clear about that. But very much slowed down and much more coherent. But like it's hard sometimes to know what's going to do well. If you probably be faster to go the other way on this. If we go to latest and we look at like this one, this was the first one I did showing tablets in my house. Did 23,000 views, which still not huge, but if you look at the other numbers on this screen, not bad. And it's like, okay, well, there at least used to be this idea of if you release a video and it does well, then do that again, right? Make a follow-up video to that. So that's what I did with this video right here. And it did very, very standard 5,500 views, which is fairly standard for what I got going on here. Which honestly, it hurt my feelings a little bit. Cause like this video is this video to the next level. And for it to do considerably fewer views than its predecessor was like, well, what the hell? So it's always a crapshoot, right? Like there are videos that I know won't do well. Like Journev, it sucks that Journev didn't do well because I think more people need to journal, myself included. Like I knew this wouldn't do well at all. This finger hand scanning door lock thing. I knew it wouldn't do well. I didn't think it would do 500 views bad, but I knew it wouldn't do well. And some of them, I mean, maybe it could be the title, but I doubt it. Like it wasn't I don't know. But some of them, like it's right, Ben, and that's kind of the thing. Sometimes you make a video because you want to make a video, consequences be damned. Like I did a couple of videos pretty much back to back as far as Home Assistant was concerned that both did pretty well. Twingate, that was a sponsored video that did really well. I was really happy about that. So there are videos that I just never know. Oh, Mr. Graywolf, thank you for that. I really appreciate you becoming a channel member over here. Like this Intel Core Ultra video, I knew wouldn't do well. It picked up a little bit after a while, but honestly, this Asus NUC 14 Pro Plus, I thought it would do 5,000 views and be done, and I'm surprised to see that. So it's some of the things that I think will do well don't, and some of the things that I put no effort into that are just kind of I got no idea for a video. Here's something that often makes that it's the videos that I don't plan. It's the videos that are just like, here's something because I need a video. Those often outperform the ones that I actually put a lot of effort into, and that's frustrating sometimes. Colin says, "Hey, I know that device. Yeah, you've got it. You were running video surveillance or something on it for a while, weren't you?" So I never know what videos are going to do well and what videos aren't, and it's super. Oh, it's PVE1. That's great. It's often frustrating. Like this video should have done 10,000 views. This video was a car stereo, like with Chat GPT in it. It shouldn't have done well on this channel, but 10,000 views. It should have got 5. So it's always so hard to tell what's going to work and what isn't. I think I'm kind of at a point where, like this video shouldn't have done 6,000 views. I thought I would try something different randomly, and it did pretty well. Anything AI seems to get a lot of traffic. It does, but that's dude, you have no idea how many emails I get about AI stuff. I get several emails a day about somebody wanting me to promote their AI SaaS platform, and I could probably make a lot of money doing that. But I often don't. But I don't want to lead people to use those platforms because we don't know what's going on behind the scenes with them. And I don't want to push people over to a platform where they're collecting, the user's data, or I don't want to promote a platform that's going to generate AI slop. And it sucks because I could make a lot of money promoting that on this channel, but it would be disingenuous to kind of the mission statement that I've set for the channel. It would be disingenuous to my audience. Like, I want people to not depend on SaaS platforms. I want people to be able to bring in as much as they possibly can in home, so that they're not reliant on third-party platforms, whether it's Google or Apple or whatever. Apple is harder to sell because once you're in the Apple ecosystem, man, that's you. But you know what oh geez, I sure did do that. But I made a mess. Oh, I've got paper towels. Give me 1 second. But yeah, like I don't want to push people into, because my whole channel has been about not being reliant on third-party platforms, and promoting AI would be so antithetical to that. It would be so against everything that we've talked about for years now, and I don't want to shift gears that hard. Because I feel like if you're into cars, yeah, you'll know what a money shift is. If you're not into cars, a money shift is let's say you're cruising along in fifth gear, like you got a manual transmission car, you're cruising along in fifth gear, and you want to downshift so that you can say pass somebody. And instead of hitting third gear, you hit first gear at 75 miles an hour when you drop the clutch and you blow your transmission out. And I feel like if I were to shift into talking about AI platforms and these SaaS platforms of generating code or generating AI slop videos or whatever, I feel like that would be a money shift for my channel. And it's a bad thing, not a good thing. And a money shift will cost you everything. There's a funny dog podcast channel that you can't stop watching. That's pretty funny. So yeah, I don't know. Like I'm always trying to figure out what's going to do well and what's not. And I've got no idea. I've got no idea what's going to do well and what's not. I am so dumb today. I managed to put my whole tea bag in there, including the little paper tag. So I guess my plan, I did that for fun when I was young and my clutch exploded. I bet it was more than your clutch that went. But yeah, no, it's, anyway, so I'm always trying to figure out what's going to do well and what's not, and I don't have any ideas because the goalposts keep moving. I'm a one-person operation. Like I do literally everything, from answering emails to coming up with content ideas, writing scripts, editing scripts. recording the video, editing the video, uploading the video, managing my social media. My wife has offered to help with some of it. But I don't know. I don't want her to feel like, I don't know. She deserves better than to have to be on social media. You know, Ben, I do that from time to time. The problem that I have, though, when I do the improv stuff, because that's how I did my channel for a really long time. But if you look at like my current video, like if you look here, right, my videos are kind of still all over the place. But like, if I don't use a script, if I just kind of improv the whole thing, and again, I used to do that a lot, and not even that long ago, my videos would tangent. My videos would be like, I'd be talking about this, and then I'd be over there, and then I'd be back over here, and then I'd be back over there. And I had a hard time staying organized. I had a hard time staying on the path to get to the end. And there were too many tangents in my videos that I would either A, have to cut out, or B, leave them in, and the video was wild. So I've had to, for the sake of brevity, for the sake of sanity, for the sake of editing, I try to script everything out as much as I can so that I can make sure that I cover everything I want to cover. And I will, in fact, I can show you this. This may be intriguing to some of you, though I don't know who. So the video that we did this week with the shopping list video, right? In the past, I would have come out, I would have hit record, I don't know, I would have talked for 20 minutes, and then I would have taken that video file into the other part of the house where I do my editing and that sort of thing, and I would have cut it all up and made it into whatever it turned into. Instead, this is one video. These are the video files from one video. This is just the talking head portion of things. There's 36 clips there. And that's because if I don't, looks similar, yeah. Microcloud, 44. Home Assistant tablets, 27. Journiv, this is one where I didn't do that, where I didn't script as much. And basically what I do is I will write my script, and then I will transfer it over to the teleprompter software that I've got that I'm looking at right now, and I will read through a paragraph, a couple of sentences, whatever that block of text is. I'll hit record, I'll record it, I'll make sure I'm happy with it. If I'm not happy with it, I delete that version, and I do it again, and I do it again, and I do it again, until I've got a version that I'm happy with. Usually the first 4 clips take a while, but by that point, by the time I've got through my first 4 segments or so, I've kind of got my presenter voice back, my tutorial voice, whatever you want to call it, my speaking voice. I've kind of got that back in play, and then the subsequent blocks of text just kind of flow more naturally. But if I screw something up, I stop, I delete that, and I do it again. Because if I don't, my videos will just be all over the place. And I've talked about this a little bit in the past. I'm not a very good linear storyteller. I will be thinking about one thing and saying that thing, and then something that's relevant over here pops in, and I got to talk about that so that you understand the next thing I'm about to say. But while I'm tangenting on that, I never get to this next thing in a timely fashion. So not literally every word I have in video is scripted. I will periodically add a couple of sentences here and there. But for the most part, recently, I've been trying to be very diligent about writing everything out, just so that both the video is more concise, without all of the tangenting, but also so that my edits are easier. Like, again, if we take a look at this, every one of these clips is in that shopping list video. There's some of them that I had to cut a little bit out of to segue better, whatever. Excuse me. And there's always an intro and an outro blank spot on the audio, or sorry, on the video clips themselves. But for the sake of keeping things as simple as possible, most of my videos are scripted, just so that there's a story arc of some variety, so that there's some cohesion, so that there's some consistency, and we finally actually get from point A to point B without taking a 5-point detour. So I've been trying to do more of that, because it makes me more involved in the process rather than just spewing whatever comes out and trying to fix it later. For some people it works, but I've realized that with where my brain is, I can't. I need to do this the scripting. Have you ever paid or had someone audit your videos and give you suggestions on how to improve? No. And I've had opportunities to have that kind of thing done, but the problem that I'd run into in those situations, I guess we can come back over here, is that that usually involves somebody saying, "Hey, I will go through your through your videos, through your scripts, through your whatever, and do that for you, but you're going to pay me $500." I've had people tell me that they will edit my videos, but it'll be $50 a minute. And it's not per minute of editing. It's like, if the video was 10 minutes long in the end, it'd be a $500 video that I have to pay for. I've also seen people that would edit a video for $5. But my videos don't make that much money. Just here's some transparency for you. The video that the shopping list video, right? I'm not looking for sympathy here. Like, I'm trying to be transparent. Has earned me $7.28. Since it launched, and it's a couple of days behind. But if we look over here, like revenue, let's see. Advertisers are paying $10.41 to advertise on this video per 1,000 impressions. And after YouTube taking their cut and people using ad blockers and people with YouTube Premium, with those sorts of things, I'm getting paid $2.08 per 1,000 ad impressions on this video. So $7 based on 3,500 views. We're at 4,500 views, so that'll go up another $2.08 roughly. So I'll make about $10 to $12 on this video for an 11-minute, 44-second video, right? So if somebody wanted me to pay them even $25 per minute, I'd be paying them $277 or something, $275 or something to edit this video when I'm going to make $7.28 on it. I would love to have somebody, I would love to have a mentorship program where somebody could do that, but I'm just not financially in a place where I can afford to pay somebody to help me do better. I would love to have somebody who could write my scripts for me. I'd love to have somebody who could edit for me. I would love to have a team of people like that, but I'm on Social Security disability and YouTube money, and that's my income, right? And so that doesn't do me any favors with trying to bring in more people to try to help build things up and make things better. It's where I am, Luckily, I kind of enjoy the process. Like I actually enjoy editing videos. I enjoy mostly I enjoy writing the scripts. Mostly I enjoy presenting the scripts. Like I basically enjoy the entire process. But again, I would love to have somebody come in and be part of a team, but I can't pay them. Like I can't, and I'm not going to ask somebody to come in and work on the hope that maybe something happens eventually. No, man, you're good. This is very much. I always try to be very transparent about what's going on with me. Maybe too much sometimes, but yeah, like I can't pay somebody to edit a video for me if that video is only going to make $10. It doesn't make sense. So I don't know, and I know that it's not just that, right? Like it could do like if somebody helped me edit that video or write that script or do something better, it could then evolve into more money over time, and it could be a cascading or a domino effect or whatever. But in the meantime, I don't have the upfront funds. Like I don't have the funds to pay for the idea that something may get better later. Sven asks the question, will the video not make more over a few weeks? You would think, right? If we look at the chart here, like this is still going up, but you can see about right there. You can kind of see right there the trajectory of that change. So this is starting to flatten out, and this is very, like, you can see this lighter gray back here. This is kind of the range of how my videos typically do. So you can see that the trajectory changed there, right? So over the course of the next however long, let's say this stays on this same trajectory, it'll hit about 6,000 views. So 6,000 views, let's call it the $2.08, would be $12.48 before it kind of flatlines. And this is kind of what I was talking about earlier, in that this kind of content isn't nearly as evergreen as it used to be because of the changes in society and the changes in YouTube, those sorts of things. If we take a look at, let's actually compare these two, right? So this is the one where I did the video about the Plex integration into the tablet for my kid so he can choose his own shows, right? This did 5,500 views, 21 subscribers, about $17. And that's over the course of about 31 days. It took that same trajectory and then it flatlined. If we look at the revenue over here, and that's a $3 RPM, which is basically, so how much I make per 1,000 impressions is $3.09. So 5,500 views, $17. If we take the other video, the one I made before this one did a lot better. 23,000 views, 24,000 views, whatever. Did $85. And again, higher RPM on that one, right? So therein lies the problem. Like, and the CPM, what advertisers are paying, also considerably higher there. So because this video did well, right? I was like, well, I'll make a follow-up video to it that basically bombed comparatively. 5,500 views versus 24,000 views, right? Like if all my videos did 24,000 views, I'd be fine, but they don't. And again, this video did well, so I was like, oh, I'll just follow that up with a similar video, right? So that's kind of the struggle that I deal with, in that, oh, this video did really well. I should do something else. I should do something very similar to that. And it bombed, right? So that kind of just helps me confirm in my own dumb brain that that things just don't work the same way. Eric says, do you know what your next video will be about? I have no idea. I genuinely have no idea. I've been looking at a couple of different things that, again, I would pull up if I could remember the IP address. in here, but like I'm looking at something called My Name Is, which is kind of you guys Matt, it wasn't me. Somebody else donated that membership, but thanks for being here. So there was a Monica CRM. Let's do this. Yeah, this one. Right, but apparently it hasn't been updated in a while. So somebody is doing something called My Name Is Dr. No, maybe that's not what it is. Maybe it was name tag. Yeah, name tag. Yeah. When you think about a CRM, you think about HubSpot. Yeah, and you're not far off. So what was cool about Monica, which I really, really like, is that right. So you can enter people that you know. This is a personal relationship manager more than it is a customer relationship manager. So here you can put in, the picture, their name, all of the information you have about them. You can put in, birthdays, phone numbers. It's kind of, and build a profile on them. And you can say, I met them through this other person. And then you can kind of link those two people together, and you can build a profile on that person. So you can get notifications about, like, hey, send him a birthday message, right? Send him an anniversary message, or you could say, like so you can say like, hey, we had a phone call, we discussed how much we love Dwight, right? So you can kind of keep notes about your relationship with that person, reminders, tasks, gifts that you've sent them. So you can kind of keep tabs on your interactions with the people around you. And so I love the idea of Monica, but now there's name tag, which is a simple yet effective personal relationship manager. So PRM. And it's very much like that. I think the interface on Monica, I like the interface on Monica better, but you can also do things like this, which I love, in that you can say like, hey, this is me, and I know Marty McFly, but Marty knows all of these other people, right? And then you can start interacting, or you can start building these diagrams about who knows who and how. And you can put in relationships, whether it's, they're my friend, they're my cousin, they're my parent, they're my whatever. And you can build out these big diagrams to show how you know these different people and how they know each other, those sorts of things. And it's kind of a cool thing. I don't know how many, you can see kind of something going on there. But I've been kind of playing with this a little bit. I've been playing with some other stuff a little bit, but to finally answer your question, but I don't have any idea what my next video is going to be. So yeah, I don't, and like Forsaken said, you never know what's going to hit. Most YouTubers make their money from sponsorships, but viewers don't like sponsorships, and it's a fine line to walk. It absolutely is. And I've had sponsorships pay me very well. For a couple of years, I worked a lot with Linode, and they paid me very well. And then they got bought out, and the relationship changed. I'll just put it with that. So I've had people reach out to me about doing some sponsored content, and some of them ghosted me. Like I was like, hey, what about this or that or the other? And it was a direct answer to their question, and then they've ghosted me, which is whatever, but it's a really fine line to walk. And so I'm trying to figure out, how to approach that. I'm trying to, like I do the thing with YouTube memberships and with Patreon. Like if you're a member of either platform, I upload a version of the video that doesn't have the baked in ad spot. And it also doesn't have, I've got monetization turned off for that video. So YouTube, in theory, shouldn't put an ad on it. So it's just straight to the point video. I do that for my channel members and my patrons. And that helps kind of offset some of that. But it's always kind of a crapshoot as far as, you know, who's going to sponsor, how much are they going to offer. Does the sponsorship make sense for the channel, for the audience? Formerly Funny says, how do your shorts perform? So I actually only started doing shorts kind of again a little bit recently. If we come over to here, so we can see, like, I did a short June 6th, 2024. And that was kind of the last short that I did. Just because it didn't feel like it was worth the effort. And I know that sounds kind of like a dick thing to say, but when I make a short, you know, and it does 2,000 views, you know, it'll hurt your feelings a little bit. You know, like I did a Zima Blade short where I built a 16 terabyte NAS on this little guy, and showed it working, and that did 24,000 views. Some of these did really well, but eventually I just couldn't anymore. I just couldn't make myself do it. So I made a couple of others later. I did some Home Assistant stuff. There's some automation stuff. And then in October, I was like, screw it, I'll try it again. And they do fine. Like this, the rack, that rack back there is 3D printed. I mean, I did a short about that. It did 11,000 views. And that 11,000 views netted me $1.48. So this is like shorts are not where the money is. You've got to be putting out tons and tons of shorts all of the time in order for them to make any difference in, you know, in your bottom line or whatever. This one, 8,500 views, 86 cents. 5,500 views. So we're talking what, like a 1 cent CPM, or sorry, 19 cents. Yeah, like they don't pay. You know, like 5,500 views, 55 cents. 8,300 views, 95 cents. So like I would have to spend so much more time building out shorts and that sort of thing. And I struggle as it is to come up with content to create for the VODs, for the actual videos, the tutorials, that sort of thing, that I don't know that I have the wherewithal to create even more shorts than I have been. Let's see. So looking at Piver. What is? I'm not sure what that is. Sorry, I'm going back. Ben said I'm looking at Piver right now. I don't know what that is. Pivot Interactives. No, Pivor. That's not it. Oh, is it this? CRM that respects your independence, manages clients, contacts, communications on your own terms. Is this what you were talking about, Ben? The CRM Pivor? On your customer data, no per seat licensing, no cloud lock-in by Lexeros software. Yep. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's interesting. Neat. Oh, let's see. I love the idea for people who have onset dementia or bad at remembering stuff. Dude, I am so bad at remembering names, birthdays, like if I were to go to an event and somebody were to come up and say, "Hi, my name is," by the time they got past their name, it's gone. Even if I do the thing where it's like, "Hi, so-and-so, it's really nice to meet you." I try, even doing that, it's gone. Like my ability to store names has always been garbage. And I hate it. Like I genuinely hate it. So something like this, like whether it's name tag or Monica or whatever, would be a good solution for me in theory. The one thing that I kind of wish that name tag had was the ability to add pictures to a person's profile. They might have that. I don't know. I'm still kind of messing around with it. It says I got a lot of emails from these PDF alternatives. When I check out their software, it seems sus. Yeah, no, and that's I get a fair amount of that as well. So I very often will kindly excuse myself from that conversation. But there have been a couple of people who've been so belligerent about it. Like I've actually sent them pictures of people with prolapsed anuses, just so they would leave me alone, because they were they were trying to bully me into taking on a sponsorship from them when I had no interest in doing. And it's like, no, I'm not interested. Well, what about? Well, I'm not interested. But what about? So finally, it's like here's a prolapsed anus in your inbox. So yeah, you can almost buy a can of soda, right? Rather than summarizing a video, perhaps use them to direct videos to the main video. You won't probably make as much money from directly. And formally funny, you're not wrong, and that's absolutely something that I've done. I've absolutely, like in some of these, like with the Plex with Home Assistant, and maybe that's where I failed on this one. I didn't. No, I did. Okay, so I actually did. I actually did do a short about the Plex thing on the tablet, and the short outperformed the actual video. So there's that. And like, I wonder. I'm curious. Didn't actually look at this. So the Plex short gained 3 subscribers. This one was using RFID tags that netted 7 subscribers. But I'm always concerned that people are going to start looking for my short form content. And it's because I've seen too many people talking about it, like on Reddit, where like I started making shorts and those videos are doing well, but it's cannibalized my long form videos. And I don't want short form content to cannibalize my long form content. And I don't think that I've got enough. I don't think that I've got enough going on or whatever to create a DB Tech Shorts channel. I don't think that makes sense. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But because I don't want short form content to cannibalize my long form content. But maybe that's what I need to do. I don't know. Yeah, block shorts, you can't even see them, right? You go back up to here. If I call you Bud, I've probably forgotten your name. Yeah. Should have an app with face recognition. That would work for me. Dude, do you guys remember seeing the college students that made the smart glasses that would, like when you walked up to somebody, it would grab a picture of their face and scan Instagram and tell you who they were? That's the kind of tech that I need, not to be creepy, but so that when I go out places, I can remember people's names. I'd love to have some smart glasses anyway. Would love to have some smart glasses, but yeah. Goatsy, right? Alexia says, I think I'm decent at remembering names, but when I interact with a lot with a person, I try to remember their birthday. Okay, there you go. From the top of my head, I have 10 plus birthdays. I don't. I mean, I probably did if I thought about it. But off the top of my head, no. Vaz says, I'm so tired. Sometimes I can't remember my own name, let alone someone else's name. And no, I don't suffer from dementia, I think, right? Sometimes I don't remember my own birthday. I block shorts so I can't see them. Yeah. So yeah, I just, I never know what's going to hit, what's not going to hit. But I keep looking for things to make content about. I've got some more hardware on the way. Camrui is sending me a mini PC to look at. Somebody reached out to me about a possible Jetson Nano something or other that I'm hoping I can still get my hands on. I finally got kind of back in touch with Mini's forum. So from a hardware perspective, I've got some I've got some potential stuff coming up there for software for videos, tutorials, demonstrations, those sorts of things. I don't know. I love new hardware day, right? Like for instance, that didn't work at all. Huh. Will that do anything? Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Well, maybe that one. Maybe, no. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it goes. Like this is still sitting here. It's still on. It's still running. And it's like I don't know what to do with it, right? What was it? Like it's running this. Just this. It's just running Hypermind because it can. Because I don't know what to do with it. And like I don't. Maybe I need to make a Zima shrine or something. But yeah, like this Zima Blade or Zima Board 2 is just running this with Zima OS because I don't know what to do with it. I've got, and I feel like such a dick. Like I've got Latte Pandas just sitting here because I thought I was going to be able to do something with one of them. I was wrong. So I don't know. Collins, thanks so much. Appreciate you sticking around. What's this? Oh, this. Do you mean this? This is called Hypermind, and it's a solution for a problem that doesn't exist. The high availability solution to a problem that doesn't exist. Hypermind is a completely decentralized peer-to-peer deployment counter and ephemeral chat platform. It solves the critical infrastructure challenge of knowing exactly how many people are currently wasting 50 megs of RAM running this specific container while providing a secure serverless way to say hello to them. That's it. That's it. That's all it does. Like it literally, this is it. There's 22,000 other people running this container right now. It's just a counter. SMB1 could be a Tailscale server if you need it. Yeah, I don't really access any of my stuff remotely, and that's primarily because I don't ever leave the house. Like we go shopping, on Friday we do our grocery shopping. Like we take the kid to his therapy stuff every day. We go out every once in a while, but for the most part we don't travel a lot. And a lot of that's been just the inability to travel due to having to find a caretaker for the kid while we're gone. Again, this week though, we're going to a hot springs for the wife's birthday. Her birthday is coming up on, was it Wednesday? Tuesday, Wednesday? Damn it. Let me see. It's the 20th. Her birthday's on the 20th. Tuesday. But I'm not sure if we're going to go on Tuesday or Thursday. We're going to go out to the hot springs. It's like 100 miles from here that she loves to go to. And we're gonna hang out there for a while. We're going to get some food. We're going to celebrate. But and then in May is our 10-year anniversary. And we've got plans for that already, but we're probably only going to Denver for 3 nights, 2 or 3 nights anyway. It'll depend. We're still working out the details on that. But we haven't gone out of state for any period of time in years. So I don't necessarily need remote access to much of anything because I'm almost always home. Like that pay $1 to see how many people paid $1. Yeah, kind of like that. Only this is only running, a very small amount of data. Does it show? Oh yeah, look, here we can see live data as far as what's going on. And that's what it does. Isn't the Overlook Hotel near Denver? It's sort of, the wife has no desire to do that. She's not into the horror stuff at all. So she's not interested in that. We've talked about that in the past. What are you running on the 3 mini PCs and the mini rack behind you? That stuff. That is all running microcloud from Ubuntu. I did a sponsored. They actually sponsored some content, and I made a video about that, about the about the microcloud thing, and it did fine, 6,500 views. It's kind of along the same lines as Proxmox, just different. and it was fine. But it looks good up there, so I leave it running. It's not doing anything other than literally wasting electricity. So I don't know what to do with that either. But I printed that whole rack. Like all of it is 3D printed, minus the screws. How good is microcloud? Should I jump to it or stick with Proxmox? That's a hard call for me to say, right? Like, in order for microcloud to work at full efficacy, you have to have 3 nodes, right? Like, you can have a single node and you can make that work. But in order to get the C.A.F.E, high availability storage to work and all of the features that go along with microcloud, you need 3 nodes. And there are other things about it that I don't necessarily like. So I've got 3 nodes back there. I've got C.A.F.E with high availability storage running there. So if one of the nodes goes offline, the storage is still there and it can still work with 2 nodes. The problem is that currently, at the time of recording, there is no failover. So if a node goes down, there's no automatic recovery of the container, the LXC, whatever. There's no way to there's no automatic recovery on that. It won't automatically bring it back up on a different node. That you have to manually intervene in that, or you have to have a script running in the background to make that work. They may have changed that since I made the video in December, so I doubt it. It was just over a month ago, 5 weeks ago. So there's no automatic recovery of a container on this system, on microcloud, at least to my knowledge at this point. The high availability that they talk about with microcloud is the high availability C.A.F.E storage. So if I'm going to have 3 nodes running a cluster that has high availability, like, I can do that with Proxmox. And I'm more familiar with Proxmox. I'm more comfortable with it. As I've mentioned in the past, I had 3 Zima boards set up with Proxmox in a high availability cluster, using NFS storage on a NAS, and you couldn't tell. Like, it was all lightning fast, even when I was out and about doing stuff. But if one of my nodes went down, everything automatically picked up on a different node. I didn't have any downtime, or I'd have seconds of downtime versus having to manually go in and intervene here. So yeah, right now they're just pretty blinking lights behind me, running microcloud. And look, Canonical was great to work with. They paid me well. They were super easy to work with. They didn't force me to say anything. So I had 1 PC with 2 drives. Will it work? Yeah. Microcloud will work that way. So if you do a 1 node system, right? If you just do 1 PC, you can use 2 drives. But if you want to expand, you have to immediately go from 1 node to 3 nodes. Beyond that, it doesn't matter, up to a certain point anyway. But if you want to go from 1 node to multi-node, you have to go to 3. And if you go from 1 node to multi-node, you have to have 3 hard drives per device. You have to have 1 for the operating system, 1 for the local storage, and 1 for the distributed high availability C.A.F.E storage. I will say the nice thing about it is that you don't necessarily need to have an odd number of nodes in your microcloud cluster. It doesn't do the the word that I have now forgotten about, where there's kind of like 1 node breaking the tie of the other 2. I can't think of what that word's called, but it doesn't work quite that way. So you have to have either 1 node or 3 plus nodes, and again, if you do the 3 plus nodes, each compute unit has to have 3 separate hard drives, and that can get tedious. Quorum, there you go. Thank you. Yeah, it doesn't do the quorum the same way that, say, like Proxmox does, where it requires an odd number of nodes to work effectively for the quorum. But But the other thing is that microcloud is meant to replicate a data center as far as the way you interact with things, that sort of thing. It's more focused on people who are familiar with data center infrastructure versus a mini PC with Docker running on it. It is much more meant for a different type of person than I am. I know there are plenty of people in the community who would thrive using the microcloud setup that I've got back there. It's just not me. How about using them to set up a Kubernetes cluster? I have no interest in Kubernetes at all. I have looked into it. I don't understand. I don't understand the need for it in a home environment. The likelihood of me ever going out and getting a data center job where it might make more sense is next to zero. I don't have the qualifications for it. I don't have an in with anybody to make that happen. So the likelihood of me ever being in a position where setting up automations to that degree, it wouldn't make sense for me. And you learning Helm charts and learning all of the different things that goes along with Kubernetes. I don't have that kind of logical brain, to the best of my knowledge anyway, to make it make sense. Have you upgraded to Proxmox 9? I have. We actually did one of those on a live stream a while back. It wasn't necessarily on purpose. We just kind of started chatting about it, and I was like, "Screw it, let's do this and see what happens." I don't even remember when it was, but yeah. So I'm on 9. In fact, I had to upgrade to 9 to get something to work that wouldn't work otherwise. So I did what I had to do there. But it was. Oops, sorry, I bumped my mic there. The upgrade process was different on each system that I upgraded. And I remember when we did the upgrade on the live stream, and I was kind of going through the process, and people were, shouting things in the comments to help me get through it. Other people were saying I didn't have to do that, or I had to go this other route. So it seems like, depending on your setup, the upgrade process from 8 dot whatever to 9 dot whatever will be different than anybody else who also does it. I've briefly taken a look at Dockhand, but I haven't actually deployed it in a meaningful way to have a chance to really look at it. I should, but here's the other thing, right? Like other people, like Tom Lawrence. I don't know why I said Tim. Tom Lawrence. There's Techno Tim and there's Tom Lawrence. Tom Lawrence made a video about Dockhand in the last couple of days, and I've had issues in the past where I've released a video and somebody else has released a video, and then I get called out by their community for having stolen their idea, even though my video came out first. We've talked about that fiasco that happened years ago in previous chats, previous live streams. There was a video that I had done. I think it was for Pangolin. Like I had made a video about Pangolin, or I don't remember. It's been so long. Hold on. Videos. Pangolin. Yeah, I made a video about Pangolin. And then they added some other stuff, so I made a second video to it. As I was editing the second video, Tom released his video about Pangolin, the new version of Pangolin. So it was unfortunate that, because I always hate that when two creators release a video at the same time, whether it's planned or not, some jerk off in the community is like, "Well, you stole his idea." Cool. I don't know how I stole his idea when my video came out first. And it wasn't Tom. I want to be very clear about that. When you did a video about a project I did earlier, you called it out and gave credit to my channel. Yeah, I try to do that when I can. Even when Tom did his video about Pangolin, I was going to release my video that day before I realized that he had just released his. And I even commented in there, I was like, well, I guess I'm going to release mine tomorrow then. And I don't remember if I called it out specifically in the video. But yeah, like in the description, I was like, hey, also Tom made a video about this same thing as well. So be sure to check that out. So I try to give credit where I can. It's just sometimes I'm caught unaware that this other thing has happened. So I try to be very, very careful about that. So yeah, that is the constant turmoil that is being a YouTuber, is always trying to walk these different lines of what does my audience want to see, what sponsorships will they take, what has been released. And here's the thing: I don't typically watch other content in the self-hosting arena for that exact reason, right? Like I don't want to unintentionally duplicate somebody else's video because I watched their video and liked the way they did something, and then unintentionally recreate their video. I don't ever want to do that. So I don't watch a lot of content in my own niche. I don't watch a lot of home lab content. Like I watch Paul Hibbert, obviously Ben, I watch your stuff from time to time. Not as often as I would like to though, because I don't want to accidentally recreate your video, right? It's something I've been very aware of because of a thing that happened like 15 years ago. I started a business doing website development, and the name that I registered the business as was very, very similar to the name of my previous boss's brother's business idea. We were different niches of business, but he had said the name of what his brother was going to do, and then I unintentionally named my business something very similar to his. He never started that business, which whatever, but even since then, I've been very cognizant of not trying to duplicate somebody else's efforts without giving them the credit they deserve or whatever. And it's always been something that I've been very aware of. So when I create a video and then somebody else makes a video and then their audience screams at me for creating my video and ripping him off, even though I did my video weeks before he did his video, it's such a nightmare. Yeah, I'm your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate, right? That was kind of how it was. Eventually, you become your own grandfather, and the whole thing falls apart. Let's see. Have you tried the Proxmox Data Center Manager version 1? I have. In fact, I used it to migrate part of my containers from the HL15 that's back there over to the ZimaCube. But there were just certain things that it wouldn't do. So I ended up just running back, or like fresh backups. Like my systems back up every night. But I did another backup just in case, and then just restored the newest versions of the backups on the new system. Just because I was running into too many times where it'd be like, we're shifting this over, we're shifting this over, we're shifting this over, it failed. And it happened over and over and over and over again, not giving me much in the way of why it failed. Because these are all basically the same, LXC or Proxmox LXC, just duplicated and something new installed on it. And it would work on some and not on others, even though they all had the same settings. It was very, very frustrating. So yeah, I just ran backups and moved everything manually that way. It actually ended up saving me a ton of time, rather than trying to troubleshoot why Data Center Manager would work on some things and not on others. Jared says, honestly, the best decision I've made was set up an Ubuntu server with Docker installed. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Like that's like my Plex setup is that it's an Ubuntu VM in Proxmox with a GPU pass through. But yeah, it's a Docker. It may as well be a Docker or a mini PC with Docker installed. Yeah, so I've tried it, I guess, to answer the question, but let's see, what else have I missed? Yeah, I'll definitely give Dockhand a bit more of a look. But again, I want to make sure that I don't. I mean, at this point, it wouldn't matter too much, but I'm always overly cautious about releasing a piece of content right after someone else has released a piece of content, because it will inevitably cause drama in the community. Big or small is irrelevant. It will cause drama because I ripped somebody off, even though I haven't watched their content. So, it is what it is. It's walking several tightropes at once. And a lot of that is my own brain doing it to me. But I still try to be aware and that sort of thing. So, Sven, thanks so much for hanging out. Glad to have you here. What's the end goal with PDM? Is it mainly for cross data center migration? It's sort of for migration. It's also so that, like, if you've got several different Proxmox nodes set up, in your rack or in your wherever, you can connect all of them to Data Center Manager and then manage them all from one place. It's like Proxmox for Proxmox. Like when you're in Proxmox, you can manage all of your virtual machines and your LXCs and all of that from one dashboard if you decide to go that route. Data Center Manager is that for Proxmox. The idea is that it will make it easier to manage multiple nodes. The idea is that it will make it easier to migrate an LXC or a VM or whatever from one piece of hardware to another, from one node to another. But again, I've run into lots of issues trying to get that to work successfully and consistently. That could be that I'm running it in a VM and it doesn't like that. I don't know. But I think that's probably the best answer I can give as far as what's the end goal with Data Center Manager. Is it's a management suite to manage all of your Proxmox instances from one dashboard. So yeah. But I think I'm going to start wrapping this up, guys. I can feel my voice starting to go on me. I've been drinking my tea, which is now cold. But I can definitely feel my voice starting to go. And we've actually been at this for like 3.5 hours. So thank you guys for hanging out with me for a while today. For everyone who joined or who became a member, who donated a membership, 26 new members today. So thank you guys for donating, for joining, all of that sort of stuff. If you want to check out, like, I've got the hoodie, I've got some different clothing merch that's actually decent from TeePublic. If you want to check that out, you can go down to the little spot, hopefully below this video. If not, you can go to any of my videos. It'll be right down below any of those videos. Yeah, if you want to hit the like button, that'd be cool. If you want to buy some merch, that's cool. Channel memberships, Patreon, all of that is there if you want to do any of that. But you guys are amazing. Again, thank you so much for humoring me as I continue to make these silly videos. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and take care of yourselves out there. It's getting pretty crazy. So again, thanks so much. I'll talk to you soon.